Hello, Shane. Hello, everybody at Constellation Field. Welcome to our Silver Skeeters tonight. I'm joined by our first winner tonight. This is Barbara, and she's holding this plunger very proudly. Barbara, you've won that plunger, but that's not all. You see those two big yellow foul poles out there? If any Skeeters player hits the ball off that during the game, you'll be the winner of $500 thanks to Aero Plumbing. This game's about to get going. Let's go, Skeeters.
Welcome to Sugar Land, Texas. We're live at Constellation Field, home of your Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters, who come in with a second half record of 4-6. They are 34-46 overall. They take on the Barnstormers, who are 6-5 in the second half. They are 44-36 overall. The Skeeters start out today in the Freedom Division last, a game and a half behind the front-running Barnstormers and Revolution, who are tied atop the Freedom Division. The Skeeters will send out Jake Hale, who is 5-2 with a 2.67 ERA. The ERA good for second in the league. He will take on left-hander Tommy Shirley, who is 0-1 with a 9.64 ERA. Today is game number 81, home game number 42. You can hear all 140 home and road games here on 1560 AM. Hi, I'm Ira Liebman, joined again by Brett Dolan, Andy Humphrey back in the studio tonight. And Brett, we talked about how one game could kind of get things going for you. They won 12-3 2 nights ago, but then you get blanked 10-0 last night.
It was not a fun night, to say the least, especially after the Barnstormers scored 4 in the first. And it looked like Mitch Talbot had settled down a bit, but there was another couple of crooked numbers to be put on the board, and Skitters just couldn't get anything going offensively. So it was one of those nights you just like to cast aside and hope for better fortunes this evening.
Well, the Skeeters do have a very good 1-2 punch in the starting rotation. So Michael Nix get his streak to 40 consecutive innings, but Jake Hale is second. They are actually 1-2 in ERA in the league. Nix is first. Hale is second. Perhaps he could right the ship again.
No, he's been a bright spot on this team. Certainly you look at his numbers, and that's not just over a handful of starts. He's been in that rotation throughout. He's been a consistent guy as far as 6 or more innings throughout of his most of his appearances. His last 3 starts combined, he's given up just 2 earned runs. So it's been awfully good to have Jake Hale out on the hill.
Skeeters have lost 3 of the first 4 here to the Barnstormers. You have tonight's game, and then you have a morning, a very quick turnaround. How important is it to win tonight's game with the morning game to follow?
Well, especially considering I think you want this team to play better at home overall. And part of that, of course, is winning series. And I know these 6-game series are a bit strange. But if you're going to turn things around and have a strong second half, I truly believe it starts here at Constellation Field. So it's really, I think every game is important going forward. And if you can generate a little momentum with a win and head into tomorrow, head into a road trip, coming out of a road trip, whatever it is that kick-starts more wins than losses, I'm sure Gary's still looking for that formula.
Let's take a look at the reverse side. The Barnstormers lost another player, the 9th player to be picked up. Vladimir Frias, the switch-hitting all-star shortstop, was picked up today. How did they look at this? And I want your opinion on this. They've got that July 28th game, which decides the first half. So you kind of have to make it to that game. If you win that game, how do you look at the rest of the second half, whether you're Southern Maryland or if you're Lancaster?
Boy, it's a crazy scenario. When you think about coming down to one game, we've seen that before, but it's at the end of the year. And occasionally teams will have it at the end of the half. But to have the end of the half played several weeks into the second half and have it be so meaningful, it truly is one of the more unique things to navigate. But for the Barnstormers, they're just trying to make sure they don't lose any more bodies.
They still are playing very well. This is a very good hitting team. We'll see if their pitching can hold up, because if it does, the Barnstormers can be in a very good spot where they win or lose that one-game playoff. Well, the Skeeters and Barnstormers are ready to go. Sugar Land has taken the field, so we will duck out. When we come back, the starting lineups and the first pitch. It is time to play ball when we return right here to Constellation Field in just a moment. All right, good to go. Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Lancaster Barnstormers. Starting lineup brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's the Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off is Rico Noel. He'll be at second base. The switch hitting center fielder Trayvon Robinson bat second. DH Josh Bell will bat third. The cleanup hitter all-star first baseman Sean Halton. Cole Garner in right bats fifth, batting sixth. Garrett Weber, he'll be at third. In left, Lastings Millage, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth is catcher Anderson De La Rosa, and batting ninth, shortstop Nate Coronado.
Here's your Skeeters defense tonight. Outfield left to right, it's Miller, Jansanti, and Benson. Third to first around the diamond, it's Pounds, Aarons, Prince, and Scott, with a battery of Cordero and the lanky right-hander Jake Hale.
Well, Hale comes in 5-2 and the second best record in the second best ERA in the league at 2.67. This will be his 14th appearance. All starts in 80 2/3. He has struck out 43. He has allowed 79 walks and just 79 hits and just 18 walks. The 31-year-old 6'7" right-hander, 190 pounds, originally from Albany, Ohio. He was drafted 3 times. First time by the Indians out of high school in 2005. And then he was drafted twice out of Ohio State. The first time in 2007 by the Blue Jays. And that was in the 20th round. And then by the Diamondbacks in 2009 in the 27th round. Well, leading off is Rico Noel. Noel, the second baseman, comes in 259. A home run, 15 RBIs. You have to keep him off the base paths. He is tied for second in the league in steals now with 28. He's also been hit a bunch of times. He is first in the league, tied with teammate Sean Halton. He has been hit 8 times. Well, Hale ready to go here. Shadows across the plate and the mound. And the first pitch by the tall right-hander is a little bit low and away. Ball 1, 1-0, and we are underway. Game 5 of a 6-game series. The Skeeters have lost 3 of the first 4. A 1-0 here by the right-hander Hale. This one swung and fouled just to the right and right near the on-deck circle by the Skeeters. I'll put the count at 1-1 strike. Hale, a 3-time Atlantic League All-Star, including this season. In the All-Star game in relief, Hale pitched 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs on the mound. He also has been an All-Star in 2013 and 2015, and this one is caught at third by Brian Pounds, a bullet to the third baseman, and quickly one away.
My goodness, he was playing right on the lip of the stark shadows and sunshine contrast, so that ball came out of the shadows. He caught it in the sunshine, and lucky it didn't catch him.
Oh, a very big first out. 1 out and none off for Trayvon Robinson. Robinson, 269, 5 home runs and 21 RBIs, but he is hot. 12 for his last 21 over his last 5 ball games. The switch hitter will bat here from the left side against the right-hander Hale. First pitch here by Hale as they set up away. This one is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Just underway, top of the first. 1 out, none on. Skeeters trying to get even in this series. They will have to win both of the games remaining, this one tonight and the one tomorrow morning. Slow grounded to first. Travis Scott has it. He'll take it himself. 3 unassisted, and there's 2 down. That'll bring in the switch hitting DH Josh Bell. Bell will bat from the left side. 227 with a home run and 1 RBI. And this guy has come out of semi-retirement, really. This team has been ravaged, not by injuries, by affiliated teams picking some of their players, and that's an understatement. Some. They've lost 9. A little bit more on Hale. Features 5 pitches, a fastball, a slider, a changeup, a cutter, and a sinker. First pitch misses low. 1 ball and no strikes here on Bell. Bell, the former big leaguer with the White Sox and the D-backs. The 1-0. Swung and hit up the middle, and that'll get through for a base hit. So a 2-out single here for Bell. 1 on, 2 outs, and that'll bring in the All-Star Sean Halton. Halton comes in at 256, 16 home runs, 51 RBIs, both the 16 long balls and the 51 ribbies. Good for third in the league. Also tied for third in the league in triples with 3. Got one of those in this series. He is second in extra base hits now at 37. It's also third in runs scored at 47 and tied for third in total bases with 145. What is wrong with his pants?
He's got some issues, doesn't he?
Yeah, that just do not look like they fit right. This one is down low. Looks as if he cut off the bottoms because they were too long. There's like no elastic on the bottoms of them.
And he's got the red and white shin guard that's bunching up the pants as well.
Not a good look. No balls and one strike the count here on Halton as that very straight up stance from the right side. They set up away, and this one is a fastball that just misses a little low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 on. No score here, top of the first, just underway. It's a very humid day and still 91 degrees, and humidity runs in there at 60%. A 13-mile-an-hour southeast wind coming in from left center. This one swung and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Got a humidity that'll just melt just about everything.
You'd just be happy there were no tarp pools in the last couple of days.
Oh, there was one today.
You're kidding me.
Yes, there was. I was making it look like I got off easy. The 1-2. There goes the runner. The throw down to second is not in time, and Josh Bell, of all people, steals a base, and the veteran just Red Hale, who does have a very good move for a 6'7" right-hander. That's the first steal for Bell. Smart move there. The 1-2 count. If he gets caught, Halton gets himself a fresh count. Now Halton has himself a runner in scoring position. First inning runs in this series have not been kind to the Skeeters. 4 in the first last night. The Barnstormers scored 3 in the second, take a 3-0 lead the night before. As this one is popped at the shallow right field, this could be trouble. Long run for Josh Prince. What a play. An ice cream cone catch going towards the right field line, and he saves a run there, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Barnstormers nothing. Skeeters coming to bat for the first time when we return.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Caden. He's ready to take on Swatson in the mascot race. All right, Caden, go ahead and take your spot at first base. Swatson's got his lead over second. Are you ready to go? All righty, on your mark. Get set, go! Off and running fast, but uh-oh, Swatson, is that umpire from last night? Oh, he was mean to you. He tried to throw you out. He's trying to do it again. Keep running, Caden, keep going. Uh-oh, that's what you get, umpire. But Caden's going to win the race anyway. Back up to you, Shane.
Look at the starting lineup for your Sugarland Skeeters, brought to you by Member Source Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out Member Source's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading it off is Joe Benson for the 3rd night in a row. He'll be in right, batting second, and playing second is Josh Prince. Kevin Aarons will bat third. He'll be at short. At first, Travis Scott is the cleanup hitter. Batting 5th, Anthony Jansanti in center. At 3rd, Brian Pounds, the U of H product, bats 6th. Cole Gillespie, the former big leaguer, in left. He'll be the DH this evening. Albert Cordero, the switch hitting catcher, will bat 8th and batting 9th, left fielder Derek Miller.
Here's your defense for the Barnstormers. Millage, Robinson, and Garner left to right in their outfield. It's Weber at 3rd. Coronado is short tonight. Noel at 2nd. Halton at 1st. A batter of De La Rosa, and a left-hander, Tommy Shirley.
Shirley only 4 appearances so far. He has not gotten past the 4th inning. 0-1, a 9.64 ERA in 9 1/3. He has allowed 13 hits and 7 walks. That is 20 base runners, and just 9 1/3. He has struck out 5. Shirley is 28 years old, 6'5", 220 from Oakland, Pennsylvania. I didn't know there was an Oakland,
There's an
Pennsylvania.
Oakland everywhere.
Selected in the 9th round by the Astros in 2010 out of Xavier University. It's one high and outside to Benson. 1 ball and no strikes. Joe comes in at 234 with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. Shirley spent 7 seasons in the Astros system. This one is chopped foul off of third, 1-1 here on Benson. Last season in the Astros systems, its best season really in 2014. Split time between Oklahoma City and Corpus was 7-5 with a 2.54 ERA. Great strikeout to walk ratio for his career at 2.69. The 1-2, way inside. Benson had to get out of the way of that one. 2 balls and a strike here. Imagine he went to Xavier for 3 seasons, was 6-10 lifetime with the 5.51 ERA in his career at Xavier. The 2-1, swung and fouled off to the right side. What is the nickname of Xavier?
That'd be the Musketeers.
Musketeers, there you go. 2-2 here on Benson. Southpaw Shirley has a little bit of a strange windup. Features a fastball 90-96 though. Curveball. Also has a changeup. This one is chopped towards short. Benson can fly. The throw to from short just gets the speedy Benson. Nice play by Coronado, and there's 1 down. So 1 out, none on. That'll bring in Josh Prince. Prince has really been getting on base a lot lately. Last night was on base 2 more times with a walk and a double. Joshua comes in at 246 with 6 home runs and 33 RBIs. He is now tied for 3rd in stolen bases with 23, 1 off his total of last year. He is 2nd in the league in walks at 51. He is 4th in the league in runs scored and tied for 4th in doubles with 19. This one misses down low. 1 ball and no strikes to count here to Prince. Shirley gets the sign here. Winds and fires. This one is inside. He kind of goes back into his windup very rapidly and then kind of slows down as he comes to the plate.
Boy, if I was trying to throw out my labrum and destroy my shoulder, I'd pitch like Shirley.
Comes back like a...
There's a snap at the end with that neck and shoulder that makes me shudder every time he does it.
It just comes... Picture a guy going into his windup where he reaches back and he goes back so fast, just above his head. And he slows, pauses, and comes home. There's one a strike on the outside corner. 2-2 the count here on Prince. 1 out, none on, no score here, bottom of the 1st. Well, I don't know if he got this from the breaststroke, but he was actually a terrific swimmer in high school. Some of that shoulder strength comes from that.
It keeps him from blowing it out with this delivery.
The 2-2, hard hit to short. Coronado has it again, fires it in time. Nice throw by the shortstop, right on the money. And there's quickly 2 away, both assists by the shortstop, Coronado.
So it would be no surprise that they lose their shortstop on the very first 2 ground balls of the game. Go to the new guy who's not really a shortstop, but he handled them flawlessly.
That'll bring in Kevin Aarons, 274 for Kevin, 7 home runs, 41 RBIs, and he is moving up the charts in doubles. He is now tied with 22, tied for 2nd in the league. Aarons had another 2-bagger last night. First pitch here is just off the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes. Interesting that Shirley strikes out almost a hitter per inning, but really not his focus, at least anymore. He actually tries to focus on getting a hitter out in 3 pitches or less, which is not an easy task, but he's done that so far pretty well. This one inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count.
Well, he's got a great tempo. I mean, right now he's standing behind the mound, but normally he's in contact with that rubber, gets a sign, he's ready to go.
Quick workers seem to be a dying breed. The 2-0, swung and a miss, strike 1, 2-1 the count. Well, he comes after you, no question about it.
I think there's 2 types of pitchers in our game anymore. There are those that can't consistently throw strikes, and then there are those that don't want to. They want to pick a nibble to get guys to chase and expand the zone.
So you're saying there's nobody that just throws strikes anymore. This one misses outside, 3-1.
There's some that throw and hope. There's others that know they're good enough to maybe pick around the zone until you get yourself out, and then there are others that can't do it.
You bring up a good point. Why do you think guys nibble so much just because of so many home runs that are flying out?
I think it's a big part of it.
This one swung and fouled deep down the right side. 3 balls and 2 strikes here in Kevin Aaron.
Astros, a couple of other teams just a week ago were throwing basically more breaking balls and off-speed pitches than fastballs, greater than 50%. And to me, that means you don't care if your starter comes out after 5 innings and he walks 5 or 6 guys, as long as you stay away from the big home run and you just outlast the batter somehow.
Payoff pitch, swung, a slow number left side of the mound. Shirley will have to hurry. Spins, fires it to first. Got him. Nice play by the left-hander on the mound. An easy inning, 3 ground balls outs, 2 to short, 1 right back to Shirley himself. 3 up, 3 down go the Skeeters. We're through 1 inning. There's no score.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Eric. He's ready to test his golf skills with the Sugar Creek Country Club Golf Chipping Challenge. All right, Eric, that blue pull out there is your goal whenever you're ready. Not bad, just a little to the left. Oh, so close. We'll give you a couple more. Almost. We'll give you one more. Last one. Oh, a couple close, the last one being the closest. But thank you so much for playing. We're going to send it back up to you, Shane.
Well, decorate your desk with the Skeeters Championship Ring Desk Weight. On Saturday, July 29th, the first 2,000 fans will receive a free replica ring weight courtesy of Memorial Herman. To get your tickets, call 281-240-HITS or visit the Skeeters online at sugarlandskeeters.com. Do you even have a desk anymore? You're just traveling. You're just like, you can have like a foldable, retractable desk.
I should, but no, I have one. Of course I have a desk. A lot of stuff on it, a lot of very important documents.
So it's a mess and you don't know where anything is, and it's just one of those tables that you throw all your trash on.
Nope. It is a little messy, but it's under control.
That's true, Professor. You got to grade papers and stuff these days. This one a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. 5, 6, and 7 here for the Barnstormers. No score here in the top of the second. It'll be Garner, Garrett Weber, and Lastings Millage. They're going to set up inside this time on Garner. This one is low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Andy Humphrey had him on the post-game show yesterday. He was just a home run short of the cycle at a single, double, and a triple. The 1-1 here by Hale. This one is chopped foul at the plate, 1-2. Well, Hale a quick worker, and so is Shirley. I mean, this could be one of those hour and 50-minute games.
I do like the tempo, and I'm always a believer that, you know, as long as you're not really misfiring with your control, just get up there, pound the zone, and see if you can get the hitters to help you out a little bit.
Well, just waiting on Garner now. See if they go outside this time after going inside on the last pitch. They will set up away, and this one is a little low, I guess. Wow, that was a good pitch. 2-2. Let's see. I'm going to say they're going to try to go away again. Yep, they do. The 2-2. Swung and fouled in and out of the mid of Cordero. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Garner just kind of golfs it over to the ball boy. Good stroke there. Must do well on the greens. The 2-2 here by the Skeeters right-hander. Swung and found straight back, and Garner having a pretty good at-bat here against Hale. Only 1 hit in his game. That is by the Barnstormers. No score here, top of this second. Game 5 of a 6-game series. Barnstormers have pulled into a tie for first with York. Surprisingly not Southern Maryland. Again, the 2-2, and again, fouled back. Just to the left of home plate, grounded back to the screen.
Well, he's taking some vicious cuts and barely making contact, but just spoiling some pitches from Jake Hale.
Let's see if Hale can stick with him and get the leading man out here. This one is just a bit inside. Those are two close pitches that during this at bat that did not go the way of Hale. That was the 8th pitch of this at bat. So full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Cole Garner. Hale winds and delivers the payoff pitch here, and this one swung on and fouled off to the right side. We'll see a 10th pitch in this at bat. Always like these long at bats. Always want to see who gets the benefit of it. We say the hitter has the advantage to more pitches he sees, but I don't think that's true all the time. Payoff pitch again by Hale, swung on and fouled off of third. A bat for the ages.
This is one of the few times I've actually seen the batter almost as disgusted as the pitcher. Hale's smiling and Garner's frustrated that he's going to have to take another swing. It's like Aaron Judge after he's taken 30 swings in a round. He's just starting to wear himself out.
This will be pitch number 11 here from Hale to Garner. Again the 3-2. This one down low, ball 4, and Garner wins an 11-pitch battle. First free pass of the night for Hale, and get a walk against Hale, treasure it. Because when you go back, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts. He has walked just 3 men, including 3 consecutive starts without walking about it. What did Herb Brooks say in Miracle? He said, "You score on Tretiak, keep it." It doesn't happen often. This one is a high strike near the letters. No balls and 1 strike here on Weber. Going back to our conversation with guys who nibble a lot and why they do it because of the home runs. I've been talking about this for a year and a half now. There is going to be a 6-inning specialist very soon. We're already, almost every team is a 7, 8, and 9 guy. And you're right, guys go 5 innings and they're already over 100 pitches. But I guess my question is, this one is swung and missed. No balls and 2 strikes here on Weber. Is how come the greats, the Kershaws, the Scherzers, the Strasburgs are not nibblers?
I think because their stuff is elite, and I think very few pitchers have elite stuff. Even sometimes those that do have elite stuff still are tempted to work around the zone and get guys to chase or expand. And you know, you talk about why the Astros have been so good this year. Quite honestly, they've stopped striking out. They've stopped chasing pitches. And yet other teams still continue to pitch them as if they can't hit the fastball. But you watch how they attack other hitters, and in some games they can be excruciating if their pitchers are missing, because it is, how can I get outs without being in the zone?
That's craziness. This one is just off the outside corner. You would think pitchers today would want to get hit 0-1. He doesn't want to have to groove a 3-1 fastball, but that's the position they're putting themselves in.
It is, and again, when there's no longer a deterrent to being a bad pitcher, if you only go 5 or 6 innings, even if you have to come out with a high pitch count, you get out 5 innings, 1 run, you're like, well, I give my team a chance to win, even though the bullpen be a little taxed.
And now Hale with that great move has the runner. Garner picked off the throw to second, and now it is going to be Prince to put the tag on. And Hale, I've said it time and time again, for a guy who was 6'7" and a right-hander, he has a great move.
Garner really wanted a balk. Even as he was being picked off, he was pointing to the umpire and pointing to Hale, thinking that maybe there was something. Should have been a balk, but his manager, I don't believe, is going to beg to argue on his behalf.
It was going towards second. That'll officially go down as a caught stealing. So a big out there that erases the leadoff walk. 1-2 still the count here on Weber. Officially goes down 1-3-4. Pitcher to first to second. This one fouled off. Count remains 1-2 here on Weber. Weber 4 for 7 in this series with a run scored. Excuse me, a 5 runs scored and 3 RBIs. The 1-2. This one just off the outside corner. Hale wanted that one. 2-2.
Felt like he missed a little bit down and in a couple of times to Garner, very close. Now he's missed just off the outside edge away from the right-hander Weber.
Ryan Moorhead, the home plate umpire today. Reggie Liggins at first. Ken Langford On a third, does not look like Moorhead's strike zone is very wide. Another one right there on the outside corner. Did not get the call either. Now run the count full 3-2. I think umpiring has something to do with it, even at the big league level.
I do think that, zones are a little tighter than they used to be.
Payoff pitch. Swung and fouled off to the right side. And if they're looser, you could make an argument that that's why some of the pitch counts are high. But if they're tighter, though, you would think that there'd be more strikes.
No, I think part of it is with Quest Tech, the umpires aren't going to give that outside corner as much. So you really have to come over the plate sometimes to get a strike, and guys are reluctant to do so.
This one swung and missed strike 3, so Hale takes care of business himself. First K of the day, and there is 2 away. And that'll bring in Lastings Millage.
When you see fastballs, it used to be if you saw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, it was pretty rare. Now when you see so many fastballs, guys, quite honestly, I think can calibrate. They can hit the fastball. But if you throw a wicked breaking ball, you've got a changeup, you've got that pitch that you can lean on. You lean on it a lot, and sometimes that results in some long at-bats.
I want to go back to the point you made before. You were saying how 50% of pitches are now off-speed pitch. Instead of sitting on the fastballs guys used to do, can you sit on off-speed pitches if half of them are off-speed pitches now?
I think sometimes when a guy like Chris Davinsky gives up a home run, this guy's sitting on a changeup, and it's easier said than done. But when a guy keeps leaning on it in critical situations, you might just look for it more than the fastball.
The 1-0 way inside here to Lastings Millage. Had to duck the knees back there and take a jog around the batting circle. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Millage, the former big leaguer, 4 for his last 14 in this series. Also has driven in a half dozen runs. Right, he had 3 RBIs in 1 game this season. That was the first time in this series, excuse me. That was the first time this season he has done that. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here on Millage. Hale kicks and deals the 2-1. This one low and away, backhanded by Cordero. 3 balls and a strike here. No score here in the top of the second. In the 5th of 6 games here against the Barnstormers. Only win for the Skeeters 2 nights ago, a 12-3 win. This one a little high. Wow, this zone is not high. It is not low. And there is not much on either corner. This is a shoebox style strike zone.
Well, Hale would be best served to get this out and get to the dugout. Right now he looks a little bit worn out from this inning. I know it's early. He's invested a lot, it feels like, trying to get some outs, and ended up walking 2 of the 3 that he's faced.
Well, it is not a big strike zone. I don't think a lot of it is his fault. 36 pitches already here is un-Hale-like. Well, Millage down at first with 2 down for all-star catcher Anderson De La Rosa. First pitch here by Hale. This one a fastball a little bit high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Both of these pitchers might not get past 5 the way the strike zone is. Yeah, with Quest Tech, I don't think you can do it anymore. I think umpires used to say, batters would say, hey, how come that's a strike? It's not a strike for our guy. And guys would say things like, hey, Greg Maddox is pitching. This one a hot shot to first. Travis Scott knocks it down, picks it up, and he'll touch first for the final out. So Hale gets the next batter on the first pitch. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Middle of the second, no score between the Skeeters and the Barnstormers.
I'm over here in section 20, row D, with Carl, Alec, Ricky, and Harrison, and they were upgraded to the best seats in the house thanks to Ford Bank Kia.
Constellation Field and Dick's Sporting Goods will host National Pro Fast Pitch Softball Camps on July 20th and 21st from 9 to 1 p.m. for just $65. Campers ages 8 to 13 get coaching tips from professional softball players along with many other prizes. Plus, join us for 3 National Pro Fast Pitch Softball games later on both days. For more information and to sign up, visit SugarlandSkeeters.com. Well, here in the bottom of the second in a scoreless contest, the Skeeters will send up the meat of the order after lefty Tommy Shirley got them 1, 2, 3 in the first, and it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Travis Scott, Anthony Jansanti, and Brian Pounds. Scott, 229, 7 home runs, and 36 RBIs on the season. Travis had a big slump. Last 10 games, just 4 hits, 4 for 38, 105 during that span. The former 20th round pick of the Mariners in 2005. So in steps the left-handed hitting Scott. Flags almost limp in right center. Could be an opportunity for Scott, but he's got to have a lefty-lefty matchup. Squares the bunt here. Pretty good one. Left side of the mound, and both the catcher and pitcher, Shirley and De La Rosa, collide. That's going to be a bunt single for Travis Scott. Wasn't a great bunt. It was good. It was just to the left of the mound, but the perfect distance between the home plate where catcher De La Rosa was and the mound where Shirley was. And Travis doing that a lot more lately as they shift on him a lot. And he's beaten that shift quite a bit this year. A 1 on, first hit of the night for the Skeeters. None out for Anthony Jansanti. Jansanti 282 with 4 home runs and 26 RBIs. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for both teams here in the bottom of the second. First pitch is a little low. 1 ball and no strikes to count. What are you doing there, Professor?
I'm just trying to video Shirley's delivery.
Want to show some kind of pitching guru?
Yeah, what not to do. How not to throw.
See if he does that with a runner on. He does not. He just slides home.
Yeah, you're right.
Strike 1-1.
Good point. Much more of a slide step. Even though Travis not going anywhere, just probably force of habit.
1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Jansanti. Open stance from the right side. He stands fairly deep and close to the plate. This one nubbed foul at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes on number 2-1, Anthony Jansanti. Anthony wearing those socks high. Trying to get that high strike. I think that helps.
I think it looks good. It's the old-time baseball look. If there's any residual benefit, so be it.
So I'm going to take that as a no. 1-2 the count. Shirley looks at first. Travis leaning towards second. Does not go. And this one in the dirt. Gets away from De La Rosa, just about 10 feet to his right. No advance by Scott. Oh, they're going to call it strike 3?
Appeal to Reggie Liggins. He rung him up.
I didn't think he even went halfway.
I didn't either. I was surprised on the appeal, and then to get the verdict.
Well, first strikeout for Shirley. 1 on and 1 out for Brian Pounds. Pounds 203, 7 home runs and 24 RBIs. Well, in steps Pounds, who has been on a roll as of late. Right-handed hitting third baseman. We'll see if he can continue things here. They'll set up away. This one swung and drilled into center field as Pounds continues his hot hitting. A single, first and second, with only 1 away here. Skeeters will try to strike first. And Cole Gillespie will step in. Gillespie had last night off. He is the DH here today. 1 night off from the field, so kind of a day and a half off.
Umpire Brian Moorhead continuing to try and tell the boys in the scoreboard room there's an out. Even looked back in their direction. It didn't quite work.
There it is. This one fouled off to the right side. No balls and one strike to count here. Gillespie comes in 261 with a home run and 9 RBIs. He's been a nice addition to this Skeeter squad. 9 RBIs in 12 games, so really producing for Sugar Land early. Gillespie over his last 5 games, just 3 for 30, a 150 mark, though. With the former big leaguer. They set up outside here. The 0-1 by Shirley. This one in the dirt. Scott thought about it at second, but holds on. Only about 5 feet to the right of De La Rosa. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. No score here in the bottom of the second. Would love to strike first for a change. Shirley gets the sign here from De La Rosa. He'll look at second and come home. This one in the dirt. This one way away from De La Rosa. All the way to the right side, right near on-deck hitter Albert Cordero. And that'll move both runners up 90 feet. Wild pitch sends Scott down to third and pounds on at second. Now with a sac fly here by Gillespie. Going to give the Skeeters a lead here, and a base hit would give them 2 runs. And it looks like the Barnstormers going to bring the infield in here with no score in the bottom of the second. I see this way too much, and I don't like it.
I'm with you. I think we're in full agreement on this. We find it a little bit surprising. And when we agree on something, either we're both onto something or we're both truly wrong.
Thanks. This one is swung and a hit to the right side. And both me and Brett were wrong on this one as Sean Halton grabs it, steps on first, and there's 2 down.
Then it works out perfectly.
I think it's the first time we agree all year. It doesn't go
And then we're wrong. I told you. It could mean we're really wrong.
That'll bring in the switch hitting catcher Albert Cordero, who will bat here from the right side against the Southpaw Shirley. Cordero in a bit of a slump himself, 243 home runs and 20 RBIs. Cordero just 4 for his last 37, a 108 mark over his last 10. Drafted out of Venezuela, made his way through the Mets chain. Got as high as Double-A Binghamton 2 years ago in 2015. Time called here. I think that was on the catcher De La Rosa. Take a look at the pitch count here. 25 pitches for Shirley, 15 for strikes, 10 for balls. First pitch to Cordero is low, 1-0. No score here in the bottom of the second. Skeeters trying to plate a run first. It has been a while. Shirley's pace slowing down a little bit here. The 1-0. This one just saved a run as De La Rosa quickly went to his left and scooped it out of the dirt like a first baseman. He did that while he was almost standing. It's not actually a big difference for the Skeeters when they score first or the opponent scores first, which can't be a good sign, although they're over 500 in both categories. 20 and 15 when they score first, 20 and 18 when the opponent scores first. So on a slow chopper to the right side, Halton will flip to the covering Shirley, who just beats Cordero to the bag by a quarter of a step. Otherwise, the Skeeters would have gotten a run out of it. 3-1 on the putout. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We are through 2, and we are still scoreless.
I think we're about set up tonight. I have Ashton and Josh versus Flynn and Colby. All right, my contestants on the far end are going to crawl through that tube. Once they do, they're going to run down and tag their teammate. Once their teammate gets tagged, they're going to put their head on that bat and spin around 5 times, get nice and dizzy. Once they're done with that, jump on the hoppy ball and race back to Sarah at the starting line. All righty, are we ready? Get set, crawl. It's going to be a close one, but the team on the far end gets out of the tube first. Tag your teammate. Spin around, guys. Get nice and dizzy. All right, both are on the balls. Let's see who's going to get all the way to Sarah. Uh-oh, little mishap. Keep going, guys. Oh, he's bouncing backwards, and it looks like the far team is going to be the winner. Congratulations. You guys win a free visit to Maja's Kids and Ninja Adventure. Back up to you, Shane.
Well, if you like Texas country music, you want to be at Constellation Field on Saturday, August 19th at 6:05. Stay late after the game for live post-game concert from Mickey and the Motor Cars as part of the Skeeters post-game concert series sponsored by Bud Light. To get your tickets, call 281-240-HITS or log on to sugarlandskeeters.com. Well, Jay Kale will pitch to 9-1-2 here. Nate Coronado, Rico Noel, and Trayvon Robinson. 9-1-2. No score as we move to the top of the third. Coronado forced into duty after Vladimir Frias was signed today by Arizona. He'll go to Double-A Jacksonville. I've seen more players being signed this year going to Double-A instead of Triple-A.
I think you're right. And I don't know if that's guys stockpiling their organizations. And I think it makes it a harder call for some of the guys if they want to rejoin affiliated baseball.
First pitch here to Coronado. This one a strike on the outside corner. Coronado is 6 for 10 since joining this squad. It's an even 600. No home runs, 3 RBIs in 4 games for him. The 0-1 way inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. No runs on 1 hit for the Barnstormers. No runs on a pair of hits for the Skeeters. The 1-1 here by Hale. It's one swung and missed. 1-2 the count. Shadows all the way across the infield and outfield. No player in the sun. The only sun remaining on the left and center field wall. This one swung and hit high in the air to right field. Joe Benson is there, and he'll squeeze it for out number 1. So when you're a pitcher, Brett, you're not getting the calls or the strike zone is too small, what is the best approach? Because you can't just groove them down the middle.
No, you
get
can't.
Crushed.
And that's where I think I get back to that point as far as I see so many breaking balls. I think you feel like if you could fool the hitter, you might have a better shot than you can convince the umpire that your pitches are in the zone.
A few starts back, when we were on the road, Michael Nixon, part of his 40 consecutive scoreless innings, he's a guy who's going to strike out, 4 to 6 guys a game on the average, and he wasn't getting any strike calls. So he adjusted, which I thought was really impressive. He didn't strike out a batter all game and just getting ground ball after ground ball, which means he adjusted, went away from fastballs, which he wasn't getting the calls for, and just went to sinkers and off-speed pitches and got a ton of ground ball outs that way.
I think you're onto something, and I'll stop after this pitch.
Just want a strike, 0-2 the count here on Noel.
If you can throw that two-seamer or that cutter that looks like it's in the zone and it moves a little bit out or a little bit down and you get the swing but you get the soft contact, or even a changeup that looks like a fastball until the last second like a Davinsky.
This one hit into left center field. That will fall in past the diving Jan Santi. And now going for second is Noel, and he's going to make it. Now it gets past Josh Prince, but a nice backup by Jake Hale. And it's going to be a 1-out double here for Noel.
Jan Santi came close. The ball just wouldn't stay in his glove, and once it popped behind him, that was going to be 2 bases for the speedy Noel.
Noel's 11th double of the year. A runner down in scoring position for the switch hitting Trayvon Robinson. Robinson grounded out the first, his first time up. Switch hitter batting here from the left side against the right-hander Jake Hale. No score here in the top of the third. Both teams with a pair of hits. It has really cooled down. At least the humidity has broke. It's got to be a humidity record somewhere. Where do you think is the record for humidity?
I think you're looking at it, brother.
This one is a strike. What's the highest humidity you've seen here since you've lived in the Houston area?
I can't remember a particular number as much as you can so many days in a row where it's near triple digits and it just about wipes you out of your air conditioning unit.
Pitch here by Hale. He fakes towards second, does not throw, nobody covering. Hale now at 28 pitches. This one swung and chop. Fair ball off a third. Didn't think that was going to stay fair, and that's going to be a run as Noel will easily score. Going to be back-to-back doubles as the throw comes in just a little late as the speedy Robinson gets a hustle double, and it is 1-0 Barnstormers. So back-to-back doubles, 22nd RBI of the year for number 21, Trayvon Robinson. So 1 out, 1 in, 1 on. Josh Bell will step in. Bell singled and stole a base, and this is a guy who's kind of a big lumbering guy and has knee problems, but he figured he would take a chance and put himself in scoring position or give Sean Halton a new fresh count with 2 outs. Neither happened, actually. He stole second and was left stranded. Scoring to bunt here is Bell. Did he bunt through it? Yes, he did, says the third base umpire, Ken Langford. So 0-1 the count here on Bell. Nice to see that all those clouds moved out of the area. Looks like we are clear for tomorrow morning's game. The 0-1. This one swung and fisted foul over the net here. No balls and 2 strikes to count. What are you doing tomorrow morning while we're doing the game?
I think I'm going to be heading downtown for another game. It's always a game. It's just a matter of which game.
Hale looks in for the side. Let's see if they come inside here. They do. The 0-2 squaring to bunt with 2 strikes is Bell, and he's out of there. That was odd.
It's extremely odd from a guy who's your 3-hole hitter and your hitting coach.
Officially go down as the 2nd strikeout of the game for Hale. I'm not sure he broke a record, like he got 21 strikeouts in a game on a play like that.
Foul bunt.
Foul bunt. New single game record. Jerry Seinfeld talked about and called it the involuntary luge. It's like you don't even have to want to do it. They could force you in it. Hey, where am I going? And they throw you on the sled. Whoosh, you go down. New record. Didn't even want to do it.
No thanks.
Do you have a luge or bobsled?
Yeah, you would think on the old farm we'd make one and we'd come up with something, but nope.
Not unless you're from Jamaica. No balls and 1 strike. I don't see Iowa as being very hilly. This one is hit into center field. Charging it is Jansanti. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Here comes the throw. It's right to the plate and 1 sweep tag, but it's off the mitt of Cordero and goes to the on-deck circle near the Barnstormers dugout, and it is 2-0 Lancaster. Jansanti tried to hurry it, and by doing that, he threw just a kind of low ground hugger, but it was right on the money, and Cordero tried to grab it off the ground and tagged around at the same time, and he actually pushed the ball away and near that on-deck circle.
Well, I thought when the ball dropped in front of Jansanti, that might be an easy run with Robinson, but Jansanti, you're right, with that throw made it awfully close. We'll never know had he caught that ball cleanly whether there was going to be an out.
So another quick start here for the Barnstormers. They are leading by a pair, 2-0 here in the top of the 3rd, and that'll bring in Cole Garner. First pitch, a fastball misses outside, 1-0. Garner walked and was caught stealing. Really was picked off by Hale, but he got into that rundown, so officially a caught stealing. Hale's 1-0 here to Garner. This one swung and chopped to 3rd. Pounds has it, and he thought he held the runner. It didn't matter. It was 2 outs anyway. 5-3 on the putout. The toss across in plenty of time, and that'll do it. But the Barnstormers strike first. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're in the middle of the 3rd. It is now the Barnstormers 2 and the Skeeters nothing.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm over here in Section 5 with Colby. He's ready to take on the Assured Float Solutions Baseball Movie Trivia. Let's take a look at the question. Which of these films involves a little leaguer who, through a miracle of a broken arm, finds himself playing for the Chicago Cubs? We'll give you three choices. Was it A, Little Big League, B, Rookie of the Year, or C, The Rookie? If you know the answer, help him out. Do you think you know it? What do you think it is?
Rookie of the Year.
I think that was B. Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's take a look, see. It was. Congratulations. You're going to be the winner of 25 Skeeter bucks thanks to Assured Float Solutions. Back up to you, Shane.
Well, we move to the bottom of the third inning. Skeeters now find themselves in a 2-0 hole here. It'll be Derek Miller, Joe Benson, and Josh Prince, 9-1 and 2. I like when this part of the order is like this. Gives you really three good leadoff hitters, but you got to get on. Skeeters have not scored a run in now the 2 innings here tonight, and the 9 last night, 11 straight. Not good. Go back to the game before and see if that drought is even longer, and yes, it is. Not that much longer, just 1 inning. 12 straight innings without scoring a run.
Yeah, that could stop any time.
Derek Miller, who's batting .222, 5 home runs, 27 RBIs, will step in here. First pitch by the southpaw, Shirley. This one is high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Who's the expert you're going to send this to?
Might be a good Twitter post.
The 1-0 here from Shirley. This one misses outside. 189 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes here on Miller. Miller always has a very good eye. This is the type of situation where you love him to walk, maybe steal a base, or get on for Benson or Prince, who can get on for the big bats. This one misses outside. 3-0 here on Miller. Derek, very straight up stance. Stands fairly close to the plate, kind of bends that knee as a timing mechanism. This one to strike on the outside corner. 3-1 the count. Shirley now with 32 pitches, 18 for strikes, 14 for balls. Good hitters count for Miller. The 3-1 here by the southpaw, outside, ball 4. First free pass of the evening. Skeeters have a runner on with nobody out, and we will pause 10 seconds here for a station identification. Back to the top of the order with Joe Benson. He grounded out to short his first time up. Oh, he's 0 for 1. Benson came in .234 with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. Also tied for third in the league in triples. Open stance from the right side from the Skeeters, a right-hander hitting right fielder. Benson also with the Sox high for number 5. First pitch here by Shirley. This one is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Skeeters trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Shirley looks at Miller at first. Has a pretty good lead over there. This one's swung and clubbed into left field. This one's got a shot to tie it, and this one's gone. We have a brand new ball game, 2-2, on Joe Benson's 3rd home run of the year. That was a laser out of here by Benson. I'm talking about how these 3 guys who were batting here to start this inning were catalysts in Miller, Benson, and Prince, and so far so good. A walk by Miller, a home run by Benson. Let's see what Prince will do here.
Quite the reception for Benson down in the dugout.
Oh, Josh Prince will step in. Prince grounded out to short his first time up. Squares and bunts this one out of beauty. They'll never get him. They bother not even throwing. They do. They will never get him. That was a perfect bunt. Drag bunt down the third base line. Just a worm burner. And another single. So all 3 of these potential leadoff guys have all been on. A walk, a home run, and now a bunt single. Nice job by the Skeeters leadoff guys. what Kevin Aarons can do here. Just like that, we're going to get a visit to the mound here. See, now this is a situation that does not require a visit to the mound. They want to waste one this early. I say so be it. And it's amazing with the 2 visits to the mound that has been instituted the last few years here in the Atlantic League. We've never seen anybody violate it yet. You would think somebody would have forgot or got to the mound. It was too late.
It does seem like it's a little bit easier to work around it, and this one won't be. But oftentimes catchers will go out there for a conversation. I'm not sure what the strategy is unless you're talking. I mean, you're getting to the heart of the lineup, so you're not worried about bunt defense, or so you would think.
Just with the 3 straight batters reaching, Zach's have more of a timeout. I think that's the hardest thing to do really in any aspect of life, whether you're working on a paper, you're kind of focused on what you're doing, and sometimes it snowballs and it keeps getting worse instead of kind of just stepping back and taking a breather from it. And pitcher can only stay off the mound for so long before he upsets an umpire, whereas pitching coach comes out, he can stay out there a little bit longer.
I guess I would see that if it was the 5th or 6th inning when you start to worry about a little bit of fatigue sitting in on a hot, humid night, but it seems like it's early unless, you know, the Barnstormers believe this is the crucial inning right here. They've given up 2 and a guy on base and still nobody out.
First pitch here for Shirley. This one is low, 1-0 in Aarons. Well, mentioned earlier that Shirley has not gone too far. He only has a handful of starts, and the furthest he's gone is 4 innings, so this might be his kind of 5th inning right here for him. He's already got 40 pitches. See how many pitches he has thrown in a game so far in those 4 previous starts. Yeah, he's never thrown more than 54 pitches. He's at 40 right now.
That explains a little more then. Do you think about, for Shirley's situation, this is like the 5th inning for him, or a little bit later if you're that deep as far as a pitch count. But there's no activity whatsoever in the bullpen. 2
balls and no strikes to count here on Aarons. Still nobody out. 2 in, a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 3rd. Barnstormers scored 2 in the top half of this inning, and the Skeeters have answered with 2 of their own. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Mirror images of each other, both exactly alike. 3-0 now here on Aarons, and you got to take a pitch here. He has walked a batter. He has let a bunt single and a home run. The 3-0, and he crushes this one to left field. This one into the corner, and this one is gone. Another 2-run homer, and the Skeeters have taken a 4-2 lead on 2 2-run homers.
Well, hit off one of the picnic tables above the big wall below the pool in left field.
2 lasers out of here, one in the corner and one to left center. I think either one of them are more than 20 feet high.
Boy, both were tagged, touched off.
So a walk and a home run, a bunt single and a home run. 4 straight batters to reach. Let's see what Travis Scott has in store. Of course, as soon as he steps up, the flag starts blowing in from right center. On the left end of hitting first baseman. This one is hit in the air to center, but right at center fielder Trayvon Robinson, who squeezes it in left center for the first out here in the inning. Well, the 5th batter to hit here is Anthony Jansanti. Jansanti has struck out. He's 0 for 1. Anthony came in at .282 with 4 home runs and 26 RBIs. Jansanti hitting an even .200 over his last 14 games, going 11 for 53. This one in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Shirley almost evening up his pitch count here. 23 for strikes, now 22 for balls. The 1-0. This one is down low, 2 balls and no strikes. He is falling behind too many hitters, and that's why he's gotten hit hard here in the 3rd. The manual scoreboard out there, they're putting up the number 4, but it looks like the guy's holding it there is not sure if it should stay like that. It's not quite locked in. This one is a high chopper to 3rd, and under the glove of Garrett Weber, tried to short hop it. See how they score that one.
I think it's got to be a base hit, kind of a do-or-die play for Weber, but he didn't even get his glove on it. Maybe hoping for a bigger bounce, I'm not sure.
Well, you always hope you get that kind of hop that comes up on that short hop, but it just kind of stayed down there, and that will be a hit. For Jan Santi now 1 for 2. And the 7th man in the bat here in the 3rd is Brian Pounds, who already has a hit of his own. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Pounds came in 203, 7 home runs, and 24 RBIs. And I mentioned it was hot just before he got that single, but coming into tonight's action, he had been on base 18 times over the last 11 games with 11 hits, 7 walks, going 11 for 36, a 305 clip. This one down low, 1 ball and no strikes here on Pounds. Now Shirley even 24 strikes, 24 balls, 48 total pitches, and Gary flashing a few signs down at 3rd. Jansanti has speed, remember, 1 out. Could be a hit and run opportunity, especially the way Pounds is hitting and the way Jansanti runs. There he goes. Oh, he holds up. I thought he was going for sure. It looked like it was going to be a delayed steal. Skeeters have 3 players in double digits in stolen bases. Jansanti at first has 13. Miller has 10, and Prince leads the team with 23 steals. Skeeters 70 steals, 75 home runs now. Pretty good balance of speed and power. The 2-0, this one is down low, ball 3, 3-0. And now Shirley more balls than strikes, 26 balls, 24 strikes. Barnstormers on the other end, they have more home runs and stolen bases. 84 home runs, 123 steals. Those numbers are going to continue to decline with all the guys that have been picked up, like Darian Sanford, the speed demon, and all those big hitters like Hobson and Gindel and Galen. One down low, ball 4. That's his 2nd walk of the inning. Looks like the Skeeters might bat around here as the 8th man to hit here is Cole Gillespie. Shirley had not walked about it coming in. In fact, he had only allowed 2 hits coming into this inning. Skeeters have 4 hits and 4 runs and 2 walks.
So a catcher, that's Clark, going out to the bullpen, making the long jog. A pitcher as well. There's still but nobody throwing yet. That's about to change for the Barnstormers.
That is a mad scramble out there, and you wonder if Shirley's going to make it out of this inning. Somebody might have to warm up at a rapid pace, much like Shirley's delivery to the mound. See if I can spot who's going to start throwing out there.
It's a right-hander in a red uniform.
You're so observant, Brett Dolan.
It's a long ways out there to right center.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Doing commercials at all, are you? First pitch here to Cole Gillespie. This one a strike on the outside corner.
Might have been the best pitch that Shirley's thrown today with that breaking ball that had some nasty drop to Gillespie.
Bullpen set up. Whoever's throwing just hurt his hand. That's not good. This one is fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes here on Cole Gillespie. Now imagine getting injured warming up. Why don't you tell me about what was that? Rob Deere's brother? Never.
Robin Yount's brother.
Oh, Robin Yount's brother. That's right.
Warmed up, got hurt, appeared in the game technically, but never threw a pitch.
His only appearance, right?
That's it.
Wow, that stinks. All that work, all those years. Did he go into coaching or something? Sounds like it was not his destiny.
He made some very poor investments for his Hall of Fame brother for a number of years.
It's not good.
Below average.
1 ball and 2 strikes here on Gillespie. 2 on, 4 in. This one is sky to center field. Going back is Robinson. Also going back is Jansanti. He's going to tag. He's going to reach 3rd early, easily. The throw comes into 2nd with a fly ball out. Not a sack, but it does move a base runner up. 1st and 3rd. Skeeters have batted around here as the 9th man to hit as Albert Cordero. Switch hitting catcher batting here from the right side. 243 home runs, 20 RBIs for Albert. And now stepping out in front of home plate is De La Rosa to flash a few signs in case Pound should take off. Runners on the corners here. 4 in. The Skeeters have erased a 2-0 deficit. They lead by 2, 4-2. As Shirley closes in on 60 pitches. Shirley from the stretch. They'll set up inside and the throw to first. Pounds gets back. And they're suspecting Pounds to go here. Don't know why. Pounds, not a guy who swipes many bases over the course of a season. In fact, no stolen bases this year. Been caught once. First pitch, swung and hit into left field. There's a base hit. That's going to score a run. Coming down to score is Jan Santi, and the Skeeters alive at 5, and they take a 5-2 lead. Cordero drives in his 21st run of the year. The Skeeters will bat their 10th man here in the 3rd. Talking about the crowd being the 10th man, well, the 10th man is actually at the plate.
Although it won't be against Shirley.
Looks like whoever's warming up is finally warm. Here comes Ross Peoples. That will be all. Well, the Skeeters put up a 5 spot here in the 3rd inning. They lead by 3, 5-2. We will take a break. We will come back. We'll tell you all about the new Barnstormers pitcher when we return here in just a moment.
Skeeters have 5 runs home here in the bottom of the 3rd. They will send their 10th man to the plate, and forcing a pitching change for the Barnstormers. R.J. Hively comes out of their bullpen for the 31st time. He's 2-0 in ERA, a 4.31. He's thrown more than 31 innings and struck out 40 batters. League getting at a 252 clip against him.
Well, Robert James Hively is 28 years old, from Fullerton, California. Went to Cal State Fullerton, Santa Ana College, and the University of Mississippi. Was a 19th round pick of the D-backs in 2012. Last year split time between these Barnstormers and the Bluefish. 5 runs in here in the bottom of the 3rd for the Skeeters. They lead 5-2. 2 outs, 2 on. And the first pitch here by the right-hander Hively to the number 9 hitter, Derek Miller, who started it all off with a walk, came around to score on a Joe Benson homer. Then Josh Prince had a bunt single, and dandy at that. Kevin Aaron's homered. Travis Scott flew out to right. Anthony Jansanti singled. Brian Pounds walked. Cole Gillespie flied out. And Cordero singled home another run. That's where we are here. 5-2 Skeeters in the bottom of the 3rd. There's one a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out. Again, 5-2 Skeeters. Hively gets the sign here from De La Rosa. See where his all-star catcher sets up. Well, set up away here. This one, big swing and a miss by Miller. Now down in the count 1-2. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Skeeters, 2 runs on 4 for the Barnstormers. Neither team has committed an error so far. Highly like the fate of the world balances on each pitch. There go the runners. Swallow and missed strike 3, so it won't matter. Well, Hively comes in, does his job, and gets his team out of this inning finally, but not before 10 men come to the plate. The Skeeters get 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. A third of the way through, end of the 3rd inning. Skeeters up by 3, 5-2 over the Barnstormers.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Emma. She's ready to take on the Texas Mattress Maker stolen base race. All right, Emma, there's a base all the way out there in right field. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go down and steal it and bring it back to me. You ready? All right, let's put the countdown up on the board, please. 3, 2, 1, go! She took a bit of a jump, but she is off fast all the way down there. Got some fans cheering loud for her up in the stands. Make some more noise for Emma. She's coming all the way back. 15 seconds to go. You can do it. No sweat, coasting into the finish line. You're going to be the winner of the Texas Mattress Maker stolen base race. Back up to you, Shane.
Oh, we move to the top of the 4th inning. Skeeters have themselves a 3-run lead, 5-2. Let's keep this one rolling as we hand it over to my broadcast partner, Brett Dolan. Brett?
Well, the Skeeters certainly had it rolling in the 3rd inning with 5 runs up on the board. So Barnstormers here in the 4th inning. Send up Garrett Weber, Lasting Smillage, and Anderson De La Rosa against Jake Hale. Barnstormers lead the series this season, 9-5, but they've also taken 3 out of 4 in this lengthy series. Trailing tonight. Here's Weber, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. Talked about Weber yesterday. His first 3 plate appearances went walk, walk, sack, fly, so he was 0 for 0 through 3 times at the plate. Then got a couple of base hits, so he was on base all 5 times. Here he swings and pops one up, about to be retired for the 2nd time. Benson underneath it in right field. He'll make the catch with 1 hand, and there's 1 out. But Weber jumped his average up from 299 to 305, one of a handful of active players in the league above that 300 number, but 0 for 2 this evening.
If that number has changed any here. 9 of the top 10 now in the 300 range.
Yeah, but 1, 2, 3, 4 of them aren't in the league anymore.
It's true.
Burrows, Sanford, Hobson, and Galen.
3 of the 4 Barnstormers.
Lasting's Millage, the former Met, in and takes a pitch right down the middle for a strike. Millage has 67 hits this year. None of them have left the ballpark, so he is still looking for that first home run. He'll take here, and that one's down. 1 ball, then a strike. Lights beginning to take effect kind of during the twilight dusk hours here at Constellation. Pitch had some run to it. Didn't look like a miss by much. Jake Hale kind of staring in as he gets the return throw from Cordero. Not sure if that was down or if that was outside. I don't think it could be both, but they count 2-1. Hale bounces that glove below his belt. Lanky righty delivers. Millage hits a high pop-up, shallow left. Drifting out is Aarons, the shortstop. Coming on is Miller. It's Aarons, the shortstop, with the catch. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 4th. Here's the catcher, Anderson De La Rosa. Hit a dribbler right at Travis Scott at first for an easy out that ended the second inning.
I have 3 players from Venezuela in this game. De La Rosa being one of them. Nessie and Cordero the other 2 for the Skeeters.
First pitch runs a little bit inside of the right-handed batter for a ball. Hale works from that first base side of the rubber. Cordero sets up away from this righty, and Hale just painted the corner, hit the target of Cordero for a strike. Two quick outs here in the 4th inning, a fly out and a pop up, and there's a smash fair inside the third base bag, past the diving Pounds, heading down into the corner. Miller will chase, but De La Rosa will coast into second base with a double.
That's the 18th double of the year for De La Rosa.
Continues this inning for Nate Coronado, who's now playing shortstop with Frias' departure. Coronado fly to right his only time in. He's coming off 3 straight multi-hit games. Then again, he was 6 for 10 at the beginning of the game. So off to a good start in his first few contests as a Barnstormer. Hale working with a 3-run lead here in the 4th inning. And he rolls in a strike at 82 miles an hour.
On the night before a morning game, there's going to be a bunch of screaming kids here tomorrow. You're going to miss out. I know you don't get to see that much these days, but both inside your house and at school. But
true. I've been here for a few of the splash days. Next pitch is stroke towards right, sending Benson back. He's still drifting, starting to backpedal well shy of the track, but he'll reach up and make the catch. 2 in the inning, a double and a man left. We have played 3.5 innings. Skeeters maintain a 5-2 lead.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Jameson, and he's celebrating his 9th birthday out here at the ballpark. Let's make some noise for him. You could do better. Cheer him on. Awesome. All right, well, we're going to sing happy birthday, but I need your help. So it's happy birthday to Jameson on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jameson. Happy birthday to you.
Five runs on 7 hits for the Skeeters, 2 runs on 5 hits for the Barnstormers in an errorless game as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning. R.J. Hively was summoned out of the bullpen after 9 men hit in the last inning. In the 3rd, able to strike out Miller to end the frame. Now he'll get a clean inning here in the 4th. Joe Benson will lead off. Benson, Prince, and Aarons. Benson had a 2-run homer that tied the game for the Skeeters in the 3rd inning. At that time, pretty happy to see them answer the 2 runs that the Barnstormers scored in the top of the 3rd. Then they turned around and scored 3 more before the frame was over. We're talking about Hively, like the weight of the world was on every pitch. It's also with his warm-up pitches. Look at that, Ira. He's done.
Finally.
he was locked in on that warm-up pitch like It was the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's Benson. A bounce out to short, that 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. His home run was his 3rd of the season. Skeeters with a pair tonight of at 75 as a club. So Hively, like most relievers, works from the stretch with nobody on base. From a high set position, his pitch to Benson runs low and in. Skeeters 4-6 here in the second half of the season. And after a rough end of the first half, they'd like to find something, whatever that is, to kickstart some wins at home and maybe a little mini winning streak at above 500 in the second half. See where that might take them. Next pitch to Benson, a strike outside corner at the knees. What's ironic, you look at all these 8 teams in the league, there is no team in the second half that is 2 games above 500. The best any team in the league is in the second half of the season is 6-5. So there's nobody running out to a 9-2 beginning.
We talked a couple of days ago about how many players have been signed out of the Atlantic League this year. I think that has a lot to do with it. A lot of parity because all the good guys are gone.
Pitch to Benson, called a strike. He thought it was up and in. He can't believe it. He didn't say anything, but he shrugged his shoulders and backed out of the way. I'm sure you're onto something. It has kind of muddled the waters a bit, but it has presented an opportunity for those that always have not started off with a great season. Fire it back up. Benson now having to protect with 2 strikes, fouls one back to the screen.
Speaking of which, let's take a look at some of the Skeeters who were signed this year. And take a look at Jeremy Barfield to begin with. He's hitting .281 with, let's see, 9 home runs and 27 RBIs at AA Portland in the Red Sox system in 47 games. So
pretty good numbers.
Perhaps he might get called up.
Catcher De La Rosa sets up away. The 1-2 to Benson. He rolls one into the hole. The shortstop Cordano jumps in front of it. Has to hurry his throw. Did he get him? Yes, and another close play.
Very close. Benson so quick. I mean, Coronado made a nice play, and he's got a strong arm. And Benson still made that one very close.
Coronado decided to play it flat-footed rather than the backhand and get a little momentum into his throw, and he really had to hump it up. It just did get Benson.
I had looked at what Andy Wilkins had done in a while since he's been signed. I got to say, he is tearing it up. 43 games for him. He's hitting .318. He's got 13 home runs. Excuse me. No, I'm sorry. Back up. That was the Skeeters numbers. I got a little overzealous. At Chattanooga, .257. 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. He was doing very well when he first got there.
Josh Prince takes the breaking ball for a strike. Chattanooga, is that the Reds? What is that?
It is Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yep. Still first on the Skeeters in home runs, by the way.
He's been gone a while.
Yep.
2 quick outs here in the 4th. Prince takes that one just off that outside corner. 86 on the radar gun from Hively. Both teams scored all of their runs in the 3rd inning. It's a 5-2 Sugar Land lead. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch to Prince, big swing and a miss. Tried to pull the pitch maybe a little bit outside and away from him. Now trailing in the count, 1-2.
Hively, by the way, recorded 33 saves with a 181 ERA in Class A in 2013. So was an all-star that year for the Midwest League.
Next one to Prince, swung on, chopped softly foul back to his left.
And in 2014, this doesn't sound like an impossible task, but still very difficult. He did not allow a home run in 55 appearances in 2014.
I'd say that's pretty good. Prince had a bunt single in that 5-run 3rd inning. He would come across and touch the plate. Trying to stay alive here. And the pitch down and out.
At least so far 13 pitches, 10 of them for strikes.
Reaches in the glove for the baseball, comes upset away from his chin, and the pitch to Prince is rolled foul wide to third, past Gary Gaetti near the camera well, and the third baseman Weber will go retrieve, flip it up into the seats. So a strikeout to Miller, a bounce out to short from Benson. And it's 2-2 to Prince. Hively works that glove from his belt to his chin. Here's the next pitch. Another soft roller foul. Third base side by Josh. And the count holds at 2-2.
You know, they always talk about slow workers, how guys are back on their heels. Well, what would make you want to work slowly? I mean, it's not good for you as a pitcher. It doesn't keep you in a rhythm. It's not good for your fielders.
I know me personally, if that was the case, I would feel like I was overthinking. You know, sometimes when you're on the golf course and you're sitting on the tee box and you're not swinging, someone will say, just step off, back off. You know, you're tight, you're tense, you're thinking about it, you're worried about putting it in the trees. Prince will wave and miss. Strikeout inning over. 2 gone, rather. So 2 gone for Aarons.
We say you study long, you study wrong.
I think there's a lot to that. But, you know, I've said it many a time, and you have as well. These pitchers are certainly creatures of habit and routine.
But if it's not working, I mean, if you can have a slow delivery in a successful career, I say go for it. But I could probably count the number of guys on one hand and have fingers left over. And if it's not working, I don't care what your routine is. Time to break it. Get a new routine.
It's Kevin Aarons. He had a 2-run homer in the third into the picnic area above the high fence and left, and he takes strike 1 from Hively. Skeeters up 5-2 in the 4th inning.
Now, unlike Shirley, who had more balls than strikes at the end, Hively actually pitching very well. His next pitch will be pitch number 20. 14 of the 19 pitches for strikes.
He's working in that 86 to 88 range as far as the radar gun. Next pitch, a crack bat roller up the middle. Coronado has time to get there to his left, ranging, flipping to first in time to get Aarons. And that broken bat took enough steam out of that ground ball that Coronado made the play and ends the 4th inning. On we go to the 5th. Skeeters still up 5-2 over the Barnstormers. Here we go to the 5th inning. Ballpark in Sugar Land, Constellation Field. Skeeters leading the Barnstormers 5-2. Lancaster will send up Noel, Robinson, and Bell, the top of the lineup against Jake Hale. Hale came into this game over his last 3 starts, having given up just 2 runs in 18 total innings. Barnstormers got a couple against him in the 3rd, and that is it so far. Here's Noel. He had a double, big part of that 3rd inning. Hale, the former Ohio State Buckeye pitcher, lean and lanky, and his first pitch on the way is the letter high to Noel for a ball. 6'7", 190 pounds for Hale, Ohio native. Originally drafted by the home state team, or at least one of them in Cleveland. His pitch there in for a strike.
How nuts would Cleveland have gone if both the Cavaliers and Indians had won last year?
Would have been something. As it was a huge year for them.
No doubt.
There's a bunt in front of the plate, picked up by the catcher Cordero. His throw to first is in time to get the speedy Noel by a stride. 1 out.
That was a nice play by Cordero, because then he go towards the 3rd base side of home plate and then kind of position himself and fire it to first. And by that time, Noel had almost gotten all the way down there.
I think as the years pass, what we're going to forget is that the Indians had a 3-1 lead.
Yep.
And those last 2 games were at home in Cleveland.
Yep. Nobody remembers the team who lost the World Series or the Super Bowl or NBA championship or Stanley Cup.
And even if they do, I think we forget some of the details.
And it's interesting when you go back and you watch an old World Series and you're like, oh, I forgot that guy was on this team, or I forgot that they were down 5-1. Or
Trayvon Robinson takes a strike. We knew one of the curses was going to end, or one of the long droughts. It just happened to be the longest with the curse for the Cubs. Robinson doubled in a run in the 3rd. He's had a nice run as of late. He swings and he fouls one off of the catcher Cordero. Trayvon 13 for his last 23. He came out of Crenshaw High School in California, and I'm just taking a stab at this. Is that the same high school that produced Darryl Strawberry?
yes, actually, I was going to talk about that a little bit later.
Did I steal your thunder?
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
could put that back in the clouds. We'll save that for later.
No. Well, I got some other stuff, but I'll just say that not only did he come out of that high school, there was a couple others. We'll get to it in just a moment here.
Here's a 1-2 pitch from Jake Hale. High pop-up, foul, 3rd base side. Racing over is Pounds, and it will land 3 rows behind the dugout.
Also the alma mater of 2 other All-Stars, Chris Brown and Ellis Valentine.
Okay. Strawberry was a 1-1, wasn't he?
Number 1 overall?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was. Let me double check that.
Talk about lean and lanky.
6'6".
Sweet stroke. Breaking ball, hit up the first base line, and diving as Scott, the ball propels off his glove into foul territory. Robinson wide turned around first, and the throw will go to second, but Robinson stopped with another base hit.
Yeah, it was 1980. He was first selection overall. You were on a roll yesterday. This is not a good draft to do it with.
It's a long time ago, 1980.
Yeah, and there's actually not a lot of big names out of that. I mean, the only one I can really recognize, even in the top 6 outside of Strawberry, Darnell Coles. You know, Kelly Gruber was in that.
Yeah, Blue Jay.
Yeah. Remember Jeff Reed?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Here's Josh Bell in there from the left side. He singled and struck out. Takes one just off that outside corner for a ball.
One guy I remember only because he was a Yankee and he had one great year and that was it. And he was a pick of the Angels via the Astros. That's Dennis Rasmussen and of Creighton. 18-6 one year for the Yankees as soon as they traded for him, and that was all she wrote.
You said Yankees in one good year. There's a swing and a pop-up. Foul third base side again. Pounds over looking for room, but it's back up into the crowd. Two names just popped into my head, and it wouldn't have had anything to do with the draft. But
give me a hint. One and done Yankees, is that what you're saying?
No, great starts. One was an outfielder, I want to say, and one was a first baseman DH.
Cliff Johnson, the first baseman DH?
Well, Cliff had I don't know about the Yankees. I know he had a couple of good years, so some good seasons, maybe in Toronto,
yeah,
in the American League. I was thinking Shane Spencer and Kevin Moss.
Kevin Moss is the most intriguing out of that. He was almost like Aaron Judge. He had this great first half. He had 22 home runs. He was going to be the next Mickey Mantle. That was it. Not even a good second half. Not another good year. I think they just kind of figured him out, and that was it. Had the perfect swing for Yankee Stadium. Dan Pasco was another one of those guys for the Yankees.
Skeeters leading 5-2 in the fifth. 1 on, 1 out. Long at bat here with Bell and Hale.
A couple of guys who have made pretty good coaches and managers. Terry Francona was in that draft.
Right out of the U of A.
Yeah.
Bell takes strike 2 outside corner with a fastball.
And a guy who's become very famous for Moneyball in that draft.
Ah, Billy Beane.
Yeah, so he was the second pick in the first round by the Mets. Remember in Moneyball, the Mets are saying, hey, you know, he should go now out of high school. And his parents wanted him to go to college, and they kind of rushed him. And John Gibbons was also in that draft. He was a Met for quite a while and became their bullpen catcher for a long time. He still might be there, actually.
Another tapper foul by Bell, first base side.
So they're more great baseball minds than players in that draft.
Bell's hanging tough against Hale. Jake would like a ground ball to middle infielder. Floats one over the plate, but it drops low and misfires. 2-2.
I'll tell you, the Mets did what the Astros are doing now. Just a couple of great consecutive drafts. Dwight Gooden was next. And those guys were back-to-back rookies of the year.
Big part of their glory days. There's a throw to first. Robinson back and diving under the tag of T. Scott.
Want to take a shot at this? Gooden was 5th overall in the first round. 1982.
Who had the top pick?
Let's see here. The Cubbies. Oh, yeah, very famous Cub.
1982.
Did not realize he was from Brooklyn.
Wave and a miss. Sean Dunston.
Yeah, there you go.
2 outs on the K from Josh Bell. Dunston was one of my favorites because I saw him come up through Iowa like I did Greg Maddux through AAA baseball.
I have a good shot at this one. So the guy picked behind Gooden, 5th overall out of the University of Texas. He's picked by the Mariners. Played with the Rocket.
1982. Calvin Schiraldi?
Nope, close. The other more famous guy. Actually, I'm sorry. He was drafted the year before UT won the national championship.
Here's Sean Halton, the cleanup hitter. He takes a strike. I don't know. Drawn a blank.
Spike Owen.
Ah, yes. Half of the Owen brothers. Dave the other. Halton singled in a run back in the 3rd inning. That's when the Barnstormers had a 2-0 lead. There's a swing and a miss. Now they're trailing 5-2. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Halton's in the box, but he's not really ready to go, and Hale's kind of waiting for him. Jake hunches over a bit from the stretch. The 2-strike pitch cuts off the corner and misfires.
You mentioned Shane Spencer, who was actually the hitting coach for the Patriots a couple years ago, and now coaching over in Japan. And Joe Torre knew the exact time he was riding him. He was super hot through the playoffs, and as soon as he yanked him, he got cold. As soon as he yanked him, he put in, I'm forgetting the other player's name, he went 6 for 10.
Halton waves it, misses at a ball in the dirt for a strikeout to end the inning. So Hale gives up a single, but that's it. We're halfway done from Constellation Field. Skeeters up 5-2 over the Barnstormers.
Remember, this season, Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeters games on Sunday. Just show proof of your current membership at the Skeeters ticket office, and you can get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game. Visit your local agent to become a member today.
Hively finished off the 3rd inning, the perfect 4th. He's back out there in the 5th. His Barnstormers trailing your Skeeters 5-2. Looks like it'll be the heart of the lineup. Scott, Jansanti in pounds, 4, 5, and 6. Here comes Travis Scott. He had an infield hit in the 3rd inning, scored a run, part of that 5-run frame. A couple of home runs as well, a couple of 2-run shots from Joe Benson and Kevin Aarons. Cross Peoples, the manager, comes out of the dugout to grab the donut that was in the Barnstormers on deck circle, so helping out the cause. Meanwhile, I think we're ready to begin the bottom of the 5th.
Donuts.
Here's the pitch to Travis. That's a strike at the knees. Outer corner, Travis disagreeing. So Hively on a relief of Tommy Shirley, who started the game. Travis swings, hits one hard on 2 bounces, flagged by the first baseman Halton, who will take it back unassisted. Retire his counterpart Travis Scott for the first out of the inning. Hively's set down all 5 that he's faced. Here's Jansanti, 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. Since I'm not here every day and the Skeeters have been gone a lot, you just flip back for me, I don't know, not that many games in my scorebook. You go back to late May and Jansanti was hitting .353, coming into action today .282. He was in one of those runs where it was really going to be hard to maintain the type of numbers he was putting up as he takes a strike and then laughs at it, thinking it was high.
He's been a different hitter since that 26-game hitting streak ended. Sometimes there's things like that keeps you going. You're focused.
He also had that hand injury that couldn't have been a lot of fun.
No, that definitely did not help either.
And that has been a topic of conversation in this market amongst baseball fans today as Jansanti takes one down when Carlos Correa took a swing last night, came out of the game, and they called it a jam thumb, and I think everybody suspiciously thought, you know what, that's been bothering him a while. There could be something lingering, and then they find out today a torn ligament.
Yikes.
Surgery 6 to 8 weeks. So if it's an 8-week situation, if that would be the worst case scenario, that's mid-September. So 1-1 is inside.
Close for the playoffs.
Obviously, the minor leagues are done, so there's no rehabs.
That's
and while the rosters are expanded, you're kind of getting back into the flow on the fly without the benefit of facing live pitching at a level where it doesn't count.
To mention, you're missing Carlos Correa in the middle of that lineup. 2 months. That's a lot.
They should get Keuchel back soon, but nonetheless, that's your cleanup hitter for the most part. 2-1 pitch lifted high and fouled down the left field line. It should find the seats and will near the picnic area and off a couple of tables. Initially, he sustained that injury diving into the plate in a game in Atlanta, and it's one of those things. And listen, everybody has their own style and flair and that type of thing, but when you're going into the plate and the catcher's got the gear and the shin guards and the chest protectors and you're unprotected, you're not asking for trouble, but you shouldn't be surprised when it comes about either. Here's a 2-2. Swinging a tapper right at the plate. That might have got a piece of the catcher, De La Rosa.
Everyone used to go in head first, and now it's so frowned upon. I mean, I don't remember that many injuries back then on head first slides. I mean, Ricky Anderson did it for 1,300 career steals.
Right. But think about Mike Trout earlier, just going an innocent dive into second base without anybody around him. His thumb hits second base. He missed, what, a month and a half?
It just seems like the only time you hear about it is when a superstar goes down. I don't think there's any more injuries than there ever have been. It just seems like anybody gets hurt, the guys who are making $100 million get hurt, so it's a bigger story.
Well, it is, sure. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-2 pitch to Jan Santee. Waves and misses. Went after one that was a little bit down and out. Hively has remained perfect through 6 batters in relief. Here's Brian Pounds. He's been on base both times, a single and a walk. A couple of games ago, back on Sunday night, he had a 2-homer game, his 6th and 7th of the season. Very little wind tonight. Temperature started at 90 degrees. Maybe cooled off a few degrees since then, but no rain. That's the important part. There was a few drops earlier today over the noon hour, maybe around 1 o'clock here in the Sugar Land areas. Pounds will swing and miss.
Dropped down to 84 now.
Delightful.
Regular cold front.
Might need a blanket. I saw a guy walking his dog the other day, and he had a coat on, and I'm thinking, well,
even if that's 3 in the morning, it's still pretty hot.
Yeah, right.
Out.
It's still warm out. I know it's not 98, but in bright sunshine, but I don't know if a coat's necessary. There's a wave and a miss by Pounds for strike 2.
You may want to see a doctor.
You know, maybe the guy had the flu and he had the chills or something. I don't know, but
they're
nonetheless,
multiplying.
he had the coat on. He had it zipped up. Sometimes, you know, in the fall, I think Houstonians, they have a sweater. They just love to break it out of the box. You know, first time it's 80 degrees, they throw the sweater on.
When I have jackets I used to love wearing in New York, I just can't wear them anymore. There's no time.
0-2 pitch way outside, backhanded by De La Rosa. Hey, you get an off day on the island, on Long Island.
Travel day.
Okay. How long does it take to get from York to Long Island?
4.5 hours.
So you get half an off day on Long Island.
That's the way you want to qualify it.
Any big plans?
Going back to Long Island. Well, last time we were on Long Island, we did have an off day. I got to see the new World Trade Center for the first time. That's really interesting.
Those are plans.
It's both phenomenal and sad at the same time.
That's worthy of a trip. As Pounds takes ball 2 outside.
It was really sad in the fact that, and they did a great job with it, but the cutouts of where both buildings were are now fountains. Not like a shooting up kind of fountain, but the kind of fountain, it's square and it has steps and water kind of cascades down to kind of those shadow footprints of where the 2 buildings used to be.
Base is empty, 2 outs in the 5th, the 2-2, and there's a liner into the left field corner, possibly extra bases. Millage gets there to cut it off with a warning track. Here's an accurate throw, or offline throw to second base, as Pounds will cruise into second. Noel was standing on second base, then he had to jump to his left, and no chance to get Pounds, who is now 2 for 2 with a walk in the game.
Pounds is really hitting the ball well right now. A couple of nights ago, had 2 home runs. Must be one of the few hitters who does not have a hit here tonight. Only 2 hitters do not have a hit. Everybody been on base, though, except for Gillespie.
Gillespie takes the ball down and out. Skeeters leading 5-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-out double by Pounds, the first base runner against Hively since he came on to get the final out in that 3rd, the 10th man to hit that inning. He was slow when there was nobody on base. Now with a runner at second and not an infielder within 35 to 40 feet, he breaks contact. The center fielder was closer to second base than the shortstop and second baseman was.
From an extremely quick worker to maybe the slowest worker we've seen in a while.
Pitch to Gillespie, sock towards right. Long run for Garner, back into the corner, into a slide. He can't get it. The ball rolls behind him towards the foul pole. This could be 3 for Gillespie. In fact, he will go in standing and even around at third base with an RBI triple. And the Skeeters lead 6-2.
Now, everybody's been on base at least once, and only Derek Miller does not have a hit. Miller has also walked in this one. He'll be up in a couple of batters. A chance to have every member of the Skeeters starting 9 with a hit.
We were watching Garner pursue. It didn't look like he was going to get there. He tried to go into a slide near foul territory and couldn't make the catch, and then we can't see the ball. We couldn't see Garner either. You're listening to the fans get excited as Gillespie was racing towards third base thinking, who knows, maybe a shot for an inside to Parker, but then the ball came flying out of the corner.
I was thinking that when he got to third, he was not ready to slide, and I was waiting for Gary to do a little windmill. That might be the most exciting play in all of baseball, because you don't see it often.
Tend to agree, and I guess Ross Peoples wants to make a pitching change. So that's it for Hively. He retired 6 in a row, then gives up the double to Pounds, the triple to Gillespie, and we'll have a new hurler. We'll step out, bottom of the 5th. Skeeters up 6-2.
A new hurler on the mound is Southpaw John Anderson. Before I tell you more about John, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. Oh, the lefty Anderson is 28 years old, number 22, 6'2", 225, originally from Berkeley, California. Makes his home in Tampa, Florida these days. He was with New Hampshire last year. Highest AAA. This year 0-1, a 450 ERA. This is his 34th appearance, his third appearance in this series. He has made 1 start in 32 innings. He has struck out 35, walked 23, while allowing 21 hits.
Here's Cordero batting with Gillespie at third. Run home this inning, 6-2 our score. First pitch down and in. Let's pause for station identification. This is Skeeters baseball.
Anderson has pitched twice in this series, 1 inning both times, both scoreless frames. In fact, he has not allowed a hit. He has allowed just 1 walk in the 2 innings.
Already the third pitcher. That ball rope foul near the Barnstormers dugout. Last night these teams combined for 9 pitchers, and they used 8 back on Sunday, but each team had a blowout. Last night 10-0 Barnstormers. Before that, Skeeters won 12-3 on Sunday. Two-out double and then a triple, and the Skeeters jump their lead up to 6-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Anderson's pitch to Cordero, up off the glove of the catcher De La Rosa, propelling to the screen. Home to score is Gillespie, and it's a 7-2 game.
That's an easy way to get that run home, and not a good outing here to start off for Anderson.
One of those where it did hit the glove of De La Rosa, but it was a tall one for him to contend with, so we'll see how they score it. But regardless, the Skeeters have kicked the extra point.
You got to think wild pitch, don't you?
I would think so.
Yep,
That would be my
it is
call.
a wild pitch.
2-1 pitch is low and in. So Hively, you talk about him. Here's a guy who comes out of the bullpen, retires 6 in a row. He's 1 out away from 2 1/3 perfect innings, and he ends up giving up 2 hits and 2 runs before he departs. Three-one pitch, up and out. That's ball 4 to Cordero. He will walk and continue the inning for Derek Miller, the center fielder. Actually, he's in left tonight with Chance Santee at center.
So Miller can get an invitation to the dance. Everyone's gotten on base. Everyone's gotten a hit. We're trying to join that club.
He did walk and score in that 3rd inning. He batted twice that frame, in fact. Swings at the first one here and pops it up, foul ground. Halton over near the dugout, but it's several rows, 4 or 5, in fact, beyond the Skeeters dugout. So a couple of runs home this inning. Skeeters not done. Miller lets one sail wide and well out of the zone. A ball and a strike. Winds have picked up a bit, blowing the giant flags out there in right center. At times in, maybe towards the Skeeters dugout. The 1-1 from the lefty. Anderson not even close, down and in.
He's bringing it. Last pitch at 94, the pitch before that at 95.
You can tell that difference when you're seeing 87, 88, 94 just by the sound and the reactions. But he's missed badly on a couple of pitches in this sequence. Cordero at first is being held, and his lead is maybe 3 feet. Miller takes and looks at a strike over the inside corner, that at 94 mph. The 2-2 is inside, so another fastball and another one that misfires. And the count has gone full. So now, despite that short leg, Cordero can get us started early from first. Here's the payoff. That's low. Back-to-back walks since Anderson's come into the game. And it turns the lineup over for Joe Benson, who's homered and also had a couple of groundouts to short where he has almost beaten the play at first.
Been feast or famine for these Skeeters over the last 3 games. They win 12-3. They get shut out 10-0. Now they're up 7-2. And get another visit to the mound here by the Barnstormers pitching coach, Scott Patterson.
He and Ross Peoples have been out there a lot tonight. In fact, they're going to make a pitching change. That's it for Anderson. They're going to be on their 4th pitcher, and we're not through the 5th inning. So Anderson was bringing the heat tonight, popping the radar gun, but not only did he walk both batters that he faced, he also had a wild pitch that allowed an inherited runner to score. All of this coming with 2 outs this inning. Skeeters leading 7-2, and Barnstormers will now bring on a right-hander after Shirley, Hively, and Anderson have preceded him. We'll step out, come back with a new pitcher after this.
26-year-old John Kuchno, the right-hander, will take over here. Number 36 is 6'5", 210, originally from Baltimore, Maryland, now in Ellicott City, Maryland. Began the year at Altoona. It's been as high as AAA this year. No record of .337 ERA. This will be his 6th appearance with the Barnstormers. 8 innings. He has struck out 9 and has not walked a batter yet. He's allowed just 5 hits. 3rd time in this series he has appeared. Last time in the 12-3 loss a couple of nights ago. He went 2 innings. He allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, no walks, and struck out 3.
So now Joe Benson ready to face him. After 2 quick outs, Skeeters went double, triple, wild pitch, pitching change, walk, walk, pitching change. And here's Kuchno and Benson. Jake Hale, the beneficiary of these runs as the Skeeters starter, now a 7-2 lead. The first pitch in for a strike at the knees to Benson.
Much like Hale, Kuchno also a Buckeye.
About that, both pitchers in the game, Ohio State products. Pitch runs down and out. Kuchno, the right-hander, facing this right-handed hitting leadoff man, Joe Benson. At second base is Cordero. At first base is Miller. Ball into the gap. Miller might catch Cordero. Kuchno set at the belt. His pitch. Benson hits one hard in the left. That's a base hit. Cordero will go to third. He will be stopped. An easy call for Gary Gaetti as Millage plays it back in. And his 5 straight runners that have reached with 2 gone, and the bases are loaded.
Skeeters with a chance for a knockout blow here from Prince. Kuchno is a guy who throws 90 to 95, has a 2-seam sinker, hard slider, changeup as well. Guy that usually induces ground balls. He's the opposite of what we've been talking about. Actually works pretty quickly and keeps the fielders engaged.
Prince up with the bases juiced. Pitches down and out. Snap throw down to first, and it bounces and comes up and hits Benson. Halton was trying to get to the base and try and knock that down. Otherwise, if that goes into the corner, it's probably 2 more runs.
Kind of a risky move, already down 7-2.
I would say. Those are the plays that happen in youth softball with 2 outs and the ball rolls down into the corner where I
start screaming.
Yeah, you're right. What are we doing?
And your son goes, or your teammates go to your son, is that your dad? No, that's not my dad.
They're used to it.
I don't know who that is.
Someone's used to it at least, I guess. Ignoring or not paying much attention. Counts a ball and a strike to Prince. Skeeters have scored 2 and loaded them up, all with 2 outs this inning. Prince hits a chopper foul wide at third, and Gary goes over and knocks it down with his bare hand.
It's amazing you don't blow your broadcasting voice yelling at your son's Little League.
There's the occasional day where you're a little hoarse.
A little. I think that horse is a Clydesdale.
From like on occasion. Skeeters in double figures and hits, and Prince will chop that one up the third base line, but foul. Gloved by Weber, but across the chalk.
If you're trying to get out of an inning in this situation with the bases loaded and 2 down, Prince is the last guy you want to face. He's going to give you a long count, and you're going to have to work to get it out.
He's going to make you put the ball over the plate. He's spoiled a few already. Cordero, Miller, and Benson, the 3 base runners. Another pitch on the way to Prince. That's down, and it's 2-2. Kuchno is the 3rd pitcher of the inning for the Barnstormers. Keep in mind, we haven't completed the bottom of the 5th. Next one on the way to Prince. He will wave it, miss it, a ball in the dirt. Catcher De La Rosa is going to have to tag out Prince, and he will as Cordero is coming down the line, and that ends the inning. Skeeters score 2, they leave 3, and on we go to the 6th inning. It is a 7-2 Skeeters advantage.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Eric, and he's told me he's a Whataburger pro. He knows his Whataburger menu, so we're going to give you a word up on the board. It's going to be a menu item that's all scrambled up. It might be more than one word. You got to unscramble it and figure it out. You ready? Let's see. Oh, so it's 4 words tonight. Kind of tricky. Help them out. See if you think you know it. It's one of the newer items. I'll give you that hint. What do we see? I heard biscuits. Biscuits, one of the words. What else? Chicken biscuit. I got that.
Spicy chicken biscuit.
You got 3. Spicy chicken biscuit. We're missing one. What do you think the last one is?
Strawberry.
What is it?
Strawberry.
So spicy strawberry chicken biscuit. Is that it? That is. Great job. You figured them all out. So you're going to be the winner of this prize pack, but that's not all. Your row in section 11 is going to be a winner of a Whataburger coupon.
5 complete, and even though the Skeeters fell behind 2-0 in this game in the 3rd inning, they now lead at 7-2. They left the bases loaded last inning. Jake Hale back out there in the 6th.
Two really interesting this day in baseball history.
I'll be the judge of that.
You usually are. We go back, and this number is mind-boggling. So at Navin Field in Detroit, Babe Ruth becomes the all-time home run leader when he hits home run number 139. Also, Ty Cobb picks up hit number 4,000 as a 40-year-old member of the A's, however. Philadelphia A's back then.
I think I would have lost that bet as Cole Garner steps in to begin the 6th inning. Garner 0 for 1 with a walk, and the first pitch from Hale right down the middle for strike 1 called.
Willie Mays also got his 3,000th hit on this day in 1970. Some pretty all-time greats right there.
Hale's next one on the way to Garner. Boy, he wrapped that bat through the zone. He was doing his best to hold back on a pitch that was way in, almost hit him on the hands. No appeal needed. Ryan Moorhead said that's a swing, that's a strike.
And finally, you would never see this maybe ever again, especially in this day and age, but not that long ago, 1986, Jack Morris throws his 3rd consecutive complete game shutout.
Yeah, he'd be under the knife now. There's a 2-strike pitch. Floating curve, finishes down and out.
When you read baseball history, you hear all these guys like Christy Mathewson and all these guys, Walter Johnson, throwing 300 innings. Bob Gibson, 300 innings the year he had a 112 ERA. No surgeries.
Roller into the hole, backhanded by the shortstop Aarons, and his throw to first is going to be in time to get Garner. And there's one gone. You know what would be a unique Sabre study?
What about you?
Well, you're part of Sabre, correct?
Yes.
And there's various members that do presentations or research projects. I would love to know, in some of those, say, 300 inning seasons, how many pitches the pitchers threw versus guys who throw 200 inning seasons now.
Well, you have a good point there. They weren't throwing 120 pitches.
There's Garrett Weber. Takes strike 1 at the knees.
You know, they don't, I guess they didn't keep track of it, so they don't talk about it. I'm reading a book right now on a guy named Chief Bender, who kind of the turn of the century at the Philadelphia A's, and, you know, 8, 9 every night. And they come in relief a couple days later.
Or throw batting practice literally to the guys before the game as that curve drops in for a strike.
Yeah, no arm injuries.
Well, there were a few, and the tough part back then was if you had one, you were just about done.
Oh, there's no,
There's a curve, and it's rolled towards short. Aarons will scoop, fire to Scott, and 2 quick ground outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Two gone for Lasting's Millage. He's walked and popped his short. 7 runs on 11 hits for the Skeeters, 2 runs on 6 hits for the Barnstormers. Hale's incorporated that curveball more now, 3rd time through in this lineup. And he misses down to Millage on another curve. So he even started Millage with 1, and he's got a couple of soft ground outs this inning, so why not? Millage will take, and he looks at a strike, another breaking ball. So Hale has leaned on that considerably this frame.
Christy Mathewson had 11 seasons of 300 or more innings, including almost getting to 400 one time.
11 seasons. Wow.
Yep.
There's ball 2 outside to Millage.
And his career, you know, ended at that. I mean, guys are in better shape, so they play a little longer sometimes, but right around a pitcher would start to kind of fade out, 35 years old.
2-1 is stroke, but foul down the left field line, whistling up into the seats.
You know, the more research I do, the more I have a problem with Cy Young being the all-time win leader. Because, first of all, the first half of his career was not only the dead ball era. I'm sorry, let me back up. The first half of his career was not even at 60 feet 6 inches.
Soft little pop-up first base side. Scott is there to make the catch, and I want you to continue that as you go on a diatribe. When we come back in the bottom of the 6th inning, Skeeters up 7-2.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Ange and Brooke, and they're ready to test their trivia knowledge. All right, girls, I'm going to ask you a best of 3 questions. The first one to ring the bell gets to answer first. If the first person doesn't get it, the second will get a chance to answer. You ready? Ready. Let's do the first one. The Heisman Trophy is presented in which sport? All right, I think that Brooke was going to be the first one. What do you think, Brooke?
Football.
Football is correct. All right, question number 2. What prevents the Earth's atmosphere from drifting away into space? Ange, do you know?
Pass.
Brooke, do you want to take it?
Gravity.
I think with some help from the fans, she's going to get the correct answer. It is gravity. Congratulations, Brooke. You're going to be the winner of Ring the Bell, brought to you by Belhaven University. Back up to you, Shane.
We go into the bottom of the 6th. Skeeters leading the Barnstormers 7-2. Kuchno got the final out in the 5th inning. You'll look at Aaron, Scott, and Jan Santi. And before we went to break, you were all riled up against Cy Young.
Yeah, the first part of his career was pre-modern day, so it was late 1800s, and it was 40 feet and change, not even the current distance. And then the second half of his career was in the dead ball era. I've got to say a little advantage there. To me, Walter Johnson is the all-time king. I mean, 417 wins, and he pitched against the greats too. I mean, Cy Young didn't pitch against Ruth or even Cobb for that matter. Johnson's first half of his career was in the dead ball era. The second half of his career in the live ball era. So he started pitching to guys like Cobb, finished his career pitching to guys like Ruth. So, I mean, he spanned those 2 great eras from 60 feet 6 inches.
I see that as really the crux of your argument.
I mean, don't you think it's going to be easier to pitch at 40 feet and change if you're a little bit better than most?
So. I mean, the baseball by the end of the game was probably like a hacky sack. Here's the pitch to Aarons. Swung on, fouled out, to play to the right.
And also Paul Walter Johnson, he finally won a World Series in 24. That might be the biggest drought in baseball history. Washington has not won a World Series since 1924. Now, I know there were some gaps in there, but it's
were a
still
few.
74 years with the gaps.
Here's the 0-1 roller to third, right at Weber. His throw across the diamond in time to retire Aarons, who's now 1 for 4 in the game. How about the fact that our nation's capital could not once but twice lose a baseball team, once to Minneapolis and once to Arlington?
And you know what I don't buy? I know they move, but it's a new franchise now. I'm tired of seeing these records that are Expos/national records.
You didn't like Ryan Zimmerman setting the
No.
new Nationals Expos home run record? Do you think Vladdy should just keep the...
Yes.
I'm kind of with you. I think I am with you on that regard. Here's Travis Scott. Big swing and a soft tapper foul back to the screen. Travis had a bunt hit in the second. He's 1 for 3 in the game. Skeeters up 7-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Kushno's pitch way high, and that's off the glove of De La Rosa, rolling away.
The folks in Washington were smart because before the Senators moved twice, they originally were the Nationals back in the late 1800s, so they kind of brought back a very old name.
1-1. Travis swings directly, fouls one right back over our heads and the roof and out of play. I was kind of hoping they would take the Senators, but you know I can't find too much fault with the Nationals. But I'll tell you what, some of those games in RFK Stadium were interesting when they moved back while they were building the new ballpark.
That's tough to play in a football stadium, isn't it? I mean, Oakland's done it for years. Not a fun place for baseball.
Pitches down low, 2-2.
I think that's one of the few things, you know, you could have like basketball and hockey in the same arena, but having football and baseball in the same stadium doesn't work out.
Real tough. And boy, for a number of years, you think of Pittsburgh and Cincy and St. Louis and all those teams that did it and then got wise and built their own ballparks. Oakland still hanging out. There's a little flare to left, and that is going to drop beyond the reach of the shortstop Coronado. Travis gets his second hit of the game. The throw was a wild one. It goes all the way towards the first base foul line, and the pitcher Kuchno has to track it down. Meanwhile, Travis was undoing a shin guard, so he was not interested in trying to advance. Here's Anthony Jansanti, 1 for 3, but a couple of strikeouts. Scored a run. Yeah, Oakland's still kind of hanging out that they can get their stadium now that the Raiders are leaving, and even the Warriors, who have the arena right next door, they're going to San Francisco in a year. So Oakland only has one team to try and keep, and I would say building a stadium would be the best way to do it.
I don't know if they're going to pony up for that. I mean, they've been begging for a stadium for decades.
It's every time, and there's a curve for a strike.
If you're not going to do it for the Raiders, why would you do it for the A's?
I guess just more dates. The other situation is the raw sewage that keeps backing up at times in the stadium and into the clubhouses, and I mean it's not only past its prime, it's lapped its prime.
That's just garbage.
Little soft blooper. Here comes charging in the third baseman. Weber will make the catch. Kuchno was spinning his wheels trying to get over there. He looked like he was about to take a header, but Weber came on and made the catch. And the soft pop up, 2 gone.
Oh, you don't like a little raw sewage on your baseball?
I think that would be below average, especially if I came back in the clubhouse and everything was backed up from the.
Make for some great play-by-play. Ground ball to short, and he slips in sewage. Oh, there's an E6.
It won't be long. They'll have the yard markers out there in center field at the Coliseum when the Raiders start playing their games, or the dirt on the football field, which I thought was even more bizarre. Here's Brian Pounce. He's had a red-hot stretch, and he takes one up and out. He's singled, walked, and doubled, and scored a run tonight.
I always thought that would have meant a great play-by-play. Bo Jackson down the 50s, over second base, and he's going to have a first down. Yeah, that looked a little bizarre, seeing the infield across the 50-yard line.
Well, no, to Pounce, big rip and a miss, and a ball that was down and out of the zone. I don't know what they had at Comerica recently in Detroit, if they had a concert, but I was watching the highlights, and there's a ball that goes out to the outfield, and I mean the grass was brown. It's as if they had a stage out there. I mean, it looked like your pasture.
One of the minor league teams I worked on, I thought, man, how does he keep everything so great? I mean, not one brown spot, and then I saw him out in the outfield. Yep. Although Brad Detmore here does not use any type of artificial surfaces.
There's a strike on the inside quarter to Pounds. What he does have the benefit of is a lot of rain.
I mean, up until the last 2 years, there wasn't a ton of rain here. All that humidity and heat. I mean, you got what, in half acre, and you probably got tons of brown spots.
Not this year. There's a 1-2 pitch that ran in under the hands of Pounds, who was jumping back out of the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Travis got aboard at first. Skeeters up 7-2. Kuchnow's ready, and here's his offering. Wave and a miss. Pounds tried to hold back, wrapped that bat too far. He's a strikeout victim, retired for the first time tonight. Skeeters get a hit and they leave a man. We go to the 7th. It remains a 7-2 Sugarland lead.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, tonight we have Price and Taylor taking on Kyle and Tyler. All right, guys, here's the deal. You're going to spin around on that bat 5 times, get nice and dizzy. Once you do that, grab your letter, run to the board. The goal is tic-tac-toe. All right, you ready? Set, spin. Go a little faster, keep going. All right, it's going to be a close one, but it looks like, oh, they both went for the middle spot. X, move yours. There we go, let's see. Oh, you gotta go for the block. All right, keep going, let's see. Is O gonna get there in time? Oh, and he didn't see, so it looks like Team X is gonna be the winner of Dizzy Bat Tic-Tac-Toe, brought to you by the Kolache Factory. Back up to you, Shane.
Jake Hale back to the work in the top of the 7th. And so I think is Ira.
Thanks, Brett. Prepared for that intro for a while, I'd say.
I was working on that one.
It'll be 8-9-1 here. Anderson De La Rosa, Nate Coronado, and Rico Noel. Skeeters are leading by 5-7-2. Well, De La Rosa has grounded out to first and doubled. The delay here. Oh, there he goes. Wait for Anderson.
No, it is. It's like that slow motion going on right now.
Umpires are doing anything to speed this up. What happened to the pace of play rules? Where'd they go? 7 runs on 11 hits for the Skeeters. 2 runs on 6 hits for the Barnstormers. No errors on either side. A 5-run second inning and a pair of runs in the 5th. Couple of runs in the 3rd by the Barnstormers, and that's been the scoring. First pitch here, a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Anderson De La Rosa. De La Rosa came in at .261, 3 home runs and 26 RBIs. Hale at 96 pitches, so this will most likely be his last inning. This one skied into shallow center. Long run by Jan Santi, and he's going to yield to the right fielder Joe Benson, who is probably closer than Josh Prince at second base was. That is now 6 in a row retired by Hale. I'll bring in Nate Coronado. Coronado has flied out to right both times up. He's 0 for 2. Coronado came in batting an even 600. No home runs, 3 RBIs. He was 6 for 10. 6 for 12. So has dwindled 100 points all the way down to 500. This one is a strike. We were talking about 400 the other day. Even the more difficult thing, when you think about 400, you basically got to go 2 for 5 every night for the whole season.
It's true.
Which would defy logic, because even the DiMaggio streak we talking about is only 56 games long. Talking about averaging 2 hits a night. Certainly not going to get a 162 game hitting streak. And then by the end it gets tough. When you have 600 plus at bats, you get a hit, you get 1 point. You lose a point. It doesn't go much. This one hit into right field, and that one near the line. That's a fair ball. Benson will get it in quickly. A 1-out single here for Coronado. So 1 out, 1 on for the leadoff man, Rico Noel, who is 1 for 3. He has doubled and scored.
We were trying to come up with guys last night, current guys that might be threats, and I had a hard time coming up with anybody. I know Daniel Murphy's had some years where he's been in that 340, 350 range. Sometimes, I thought going back, and this was after the Brett era and Gwynn era, that maybe a left-handed hitter in Colorado, like a Larry Walker or somebody like that. But even
they
then,
play so deep.
Yeah, you get a lot of hits. You will have some balls carry out of the ballpark.
Well, instead of Snowell here. First pitch, a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Noel led Division I college with 56 steals in 2010 in Coastal Carolina. Wells a guy who plays to his strengths at the plate. Mostly a singles hitter, some gap power, consistent threat for a bunt for a hit. The Padres try to make him into a switch hitter in 2012. And another pickoff by Hale, and Coronado didn't even come close to getting back there.
He did the belly flop, but he never reached the base. I thought Travis didn't tag him right away, but when he didn't get there, he just tagged him again.
Can you ever think of a right-hander as tall as Hale had a good move? Usually a lot of moving parts, and it takes you time to get over there. And he's got such a move for a guy who's 6'7".
He's locked up a couple of runners, and the funny thing is, I don't think those runners had any intent of going anywhere.
So 2 down now. Mentioned Noel stole 56 bases in college. Well, he stole 90 bases in the Cal League in 2015. Hits this one into left field. Near the line is Derek Miller, and he'll bring it down in an unconventional 1-2-3. 7th inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. Skeeters leading 7-2 in this one. All right, thanks, Shane. All right, Skeeters fans, you ready to sing the 7th inning stretch? One more time. Are you guys ready? All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so just root for the Skeeters. If they don't win, it's a shame. Sing it with me, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go, Skeeters!
Barnstormers bring on a new pitcher in the bottom of the 7th. This is their 5th of the game. Right-hander Scott Schumann. Give you his numbers on the season for Lancaster. I'm sure they're here someplace. Convinced. There they are. First man in. Where you would think somebody would be. 3-0 1.67 ERA in 33 appearances. He's only given up 6 earned runs all year. 11 walks to 40 Ks. League betting 214 against him.
Schumann will take over here. Schumann has been very, very good for these Barnstormers. In fact, he was throwing in the mid-90s. In fact, touched 97 at one point the other night, but he's going to take over here. Skeeters are leading by 5-7-2, so don't really have to be scared of Schumann this time. Schumann's allowed only 3 runs on 13 hits in 22 innings of work in the last 23 games, and has walked only 6 while striking out 33 in his last 26 innings of work. Schumann is not allowed a run at home for the Barnstormers this season. You got to think he might be number 10, because some scouts were looking at him here the other day. So Schumann will face the bottom of the order here. 7, 8, and 9. Cole Gillespie, Albert Cordero, and Derek Miller. Skeeters leading 7-2 here in the bottom half of the 7th. First pitch by Schumann. This one a high fastball. First pitch at 94 miles an hour. Gillespie tripled, drove in a run and scored a run on a wild pitch last time up. He's also grounded out and flied out. He's 1 for 3. The 1-0. Swung and fouled back into the net. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here on Schumann. Schumann, number 9, 6'3", 205. Originally a Georgia native, now in Alabama. He's with the Ducks last year. Has been as high as AA. This one to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Good hack there by Gillespie. And nobody's in a rush this day. Gillespie way out of the batter's box. Now everybody appears to be ready. Schumann, 29 years old. The 1-2 here. This one swung and tagged to right center field. This is going to split the gap. Let's see if Gillespie tries for 2. He will. Here comes the throw, and he's going to get in there. Hustle double by Gillespie. Now has a triple and a double. And the Skeeters, another hit here. Really pouring it on. 11th hit of the evening. Schumann, a former 19th round pick of the Rays in 2009 out of Auburn University. Wonder why he moved last year. I don't think he was traded. With Long Island, he was 2-0 with a 3.52 ERA. With Bridgeport, 1-3 with a 2.76 ERA. First pitch here is low and away to the switch hitting Albert Cordero, batting here from the left side against the right-handed and hard thrower Schumann. Schumann's last pitch at 96. This one fouled straight back by Cordero. Good cut there. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Well, in tomorrow's finale, remember an 11 a.m. game here right on 1560 a.m. Brett Marshall will go for the Skeeters. The right-hander will face off against fellow righty Brian Evans. Both started game 1 of this series. He's won a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Schumann was drafted twice. Mentioned the 19th round by Tampa. He was drafted before that out of high school in Georgia. 23rd round by the Brewers in 2006, 3 years prior. Fake swing and a miss here by Cordero. Couldn't catch up with another 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and there's out number 1. 1 on and 1 out here for Derek Miller.
A couple of good arms coming out of that pen, at least from a velocity standpoint for the Barnstormers that you don't always see.
Now, Miller, the only member of the Skeeters, does not have a hit, but he's been on base twice with 2 walks. He's also scored a run and struck out, so officially 0 for 1. Schumann 10 for 13 in his career. with a 4.19 ERA, 19 career saves. Well, he began his career as a closer. Usually don't start out as a closer. He had 14 saves. This one a bullet into left field for a base hit. They're going to wave around Gillespie, and Gillespie's going to score easily. Miller with a double, and the Skeeters take an 8-2 lead, and now every member of the Skeeters has a hit as Derek Miller joins the party. Where were these hits last night? Two doubles in the inning. Around a strikeout to have produced the 8th run of the night. Back to the top of the order with Joe Benson. Benson having a good night as well. He has homered, singled, and grounded at the short twice. He's 2 for 4. His 2-run homer in the third erased a 2-0 lead. 2 batters later, Kevin Aarons had a 2-run homer. Skeeters went up 4-2, and they haven't looked back. They're up 8-2 now. And it's one high, 1 ball and no strikes to count. An impressive numbers. I gotta think someone's gonna take a chance on him soon. 3-0, 167 ERA. There's one a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 in, and 1 on. Skeeters leading by 6, 8-2. Bottom of the 7th, Ira Liebman along with Brett Dolan. Andy Humphrey back in the studio.
How's he going to do the post-game interview?
It's going to be very, very tricky. This one is low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 here by the right-hander Schumann. They set up outside. This one is hit through the left side for a base hit. Scoring easily is the speedy Miller. And the Skeeters have taken a 9-2 lead.
Well, the Skeeters have turned around some of that hard velocity this inning. Talked about Schumann's numbers coming in. Extremely impressive over a number of innings. Skeeters just keep on thumping.
We're going to get a visit to the mound here by pitching coach Scott Patterson. He has been a busy man tonight. There is no action in the barn. Barn door is not open. I don't know what Patterson's going to say here.
Schumann's irritated. He took the ball and he fired it to the Skeeters dugout. Catcher De La Rosa asked for another one from Ryan Moorhead, who gave him a high lob and actually bounced it to him. Then he handed the ball to Schumann, and he acted like it was contagious.
I don't think he had much to say. He's already on his way back. Josh Prince will eventually bat here. Prince is 1 for 4 with a bunt single and a run scored. Hale's waiting for De La Rosa. He's kind of jumping up and smacking his feet together. Not part of a dance move, granted, or an in-game promotion, but to get the cleats clean. He used to use that mat mound. Mound bat. This one is hit high in the air to center. Low sinking line drive, and that one's going to fall in for a base hit, and the Skeeters can do no wrong here in the 7th.
Well, I was convinced that ball was going to be caught, and then I thought, because Benson was in no man's land, they'd flipped to second for the 4s, but they overran the ball, and Benson made him.
This is the 4th hit in the 7th. Skeeters already scored 2. They're up by 7, 9-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Kevin Aarons' 1 hit is a 2-run homer. His 8th of the year will bat here. Let's see if the Houston native can join the hit parade here in the 7th. Skeeters with 15 hits on the night. First pitch here is Swan and missed. No balls and 1 strike to count. Schumann has thrown 15 pitches, 11 for strikes, but 4 of those strikes hits. Schumann joining the delay party here. This one down low.
What do you get somebody for one of those? I'd like to get you something for a delay party.
Get him a turtle.
8-timer.
I don't know what Scott Pedersen and Ross Peoples are teaching his pitchers, but it's certainly not to pitch rapidly.
It's almost as if they stand out there long enough that eventually someone will say, it's time to go home, like practice.
No, if they stand it out long enough, I think he's hoping that the umpire goes, oh, you know what, strike.
We're done.
This one off the mitt. Yeah, that was off the mitt, not off the bat of Aaron's. That one's going to go to the backstop. But the ball not bouncing the Barnstormers way tonight. It's about time. That one goes to the backstop. I guess that's a pass ball.
Well, I would. That's about the 3rd time De La Rosa's just kind of whiffed on one, and we gave him the benefit of the doubt earlier on a high pitch, but my goodness, you've got to stop that.
Now 2nd and 3rd. Confirmation on a moment for you.
I'll wait with bated breath during our delay party while I ponder what I'm going to get you.
This one is high inside. 3 balls and a strike, and now in danger of loading the bases here.
This is where the Barnstormers, in all seriousness, they don't want to use more pitchers.
Nope.
They prefer to bring somebody in, have him get an inning. They don't want to get somebody up mid-inning in a game where they're down 7 runs.
I scored at a wild pitch. It was a gift, but there's your gift.
I want to feel like I need to get you more.
Could be a re-gifter or a de-gifter.
Oh, that's entirely possible.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. 2 runs are already in here. Infield in here. Be a little late for that. We're up by 7 here in the bottom of the 7th, 9-2. Payoff pitch, swung and missed, strike 3. So Schumann uses that good fastball again, 96. Gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning. We'll bring in the 7th man to hit here in the 7th, Travis Scott, who is 2 for 4 with a bunt single, a single of the regular variety. 229, 7 home runs, and 36 RBIs for Travis. In steps the Skeeters' left-handed hitting first baseman. And Schumann already in a delay before he throws his first pitch. What's the delay? Now he's ready. He's going to look at 3rd. This one swung in, found back over our heads. Yeah, he was looking at Joe Benson at 3rd like, all right, should I throw it now?
You know, you might put a little of this on De La Rosa. I mean, it's been a long night for him. I get it, but can't see from our angle. We're directly behind him. How much he's flashing the signs, and how quickly he's doing it.
This one is slapped down the left field line. This could be 2 more runs. It will be. It'll rattle around in the corner. Scoring easily is Benson. Prince scores. 2 more runs in here. A 4-run inning for the Skeeters, and they're up 11-2.
Look at Schumann on the mound.
You would think it's the worst outing of his life.
He has no interest in being in this game. He's given up 6 earned runs all year. All year in 33 appearances, he's given up 4 and 2/3 of an inning.
You know what they say about great relievers? They don't like to be in during garbage time. Some guys just cannot have the same mentality. 2 down, and the 8th hitter of the bat here is Anthony Jansanti. He is 1 for 4 with a single. Skeeters high this year in hits is 18. You already have 60. First pitch here, a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike to count. Season high in runs, 30. Might get to both of those tonight.
By the way, your Yankees reportedly about to get Todd Frazier and David Robertson.
David Robertson back?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a regift.
7, 8, and 9. Look out below. This one hit into center field. This will do it. And the line after the center fielder ends the inning, but not before the Skeeters bat 8 men here in the 7th inning. They get 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 7 innings of play. Skeeters up big by 9, 11-2.
I'm not sure yet. We're about to find out. But I have $100 in my fan for a lucky season ticket holder out there. I love the noise already. Let's see where we're going. Let's see. I'm going to go this way tonight. Let's see. I always say section 9 and they make noise, but I'm actually going to head that way tonight. Let's see. What about section number 7? I love it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going one more over. I'm going to section number 6 tonight. Let's see. Row F. Always in their seats. Let's see. I'm looking for
Jake
C.
Hale's day is done. Skitters go to the bullpen
Miss Rhonda
here in the 8th inning
Do you have a ticket for me?
with an 11-2
She does.
lead.
That means she's going to be the winner of
Dustin
$100.
Richardson is on for the
Congratulations.
36th appearance.
Back up to you, Shane.
Richardson 1-4 with a 4.44 earned run average. He saved 4 games. League's hitting 181 against him.
Well, Richardson will face 2, 3, and 4 here. Trayvon Robinson, Josh Bell, and Sean Halton. Another great outing by Jake Hale. He goes 7 innings. He allows 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, just over 100 pitches, and in line right now for his 6th win of the year. You were saying Todd Frazier and Dave Robertson. I don't know why they ever got rid of Robertson. I really liked him a lot, but this is, again, like last year with Miller and Betances. I mean, Robertson, who's a legit closer, is probably the 7th-inning guy here.
That's just it, right? I mean, you solidify the back end of that bullpen, but they don't. There's other teams out there that could use guys to close games.
Like Rutherford, Tyler Clippard.
Rutherford, a pretty good prospect.
Yeah, but that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not giving up all the jewels in the Yankee system. They make a move for a starter, look out.
Tell you what, the White Sox have loaded up on prospects in the last couple of years.
Well, the Yankees did that over the last few years, and it's paying dividends. So, yeah, you got to make those moves. And look what the Yankees got from Miller and Chapman, and they got Chapman back.
Clint Frazier, for one.
Yep, and he's killing it. No balls and 1 strike to count here to Trayvon Robinson, the switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Richardson. This one slap foul down the right side. Robertson so far 2 for 3. He has grounded out, doubled, driven in a run, scored a run, and singled. That probably means the end of Chase Headley's career in New York.
Might be right.
That's some infield. Didi Gregorius, Frazier, Castro. At first, I guess Holiday stays there. So on back up the middle, Richardson tried to backhand it and just out of the diving reach of Josh Prince behind second. It's going to be a leadoff single here for Robinson, his 3rd hit of the night.
And you know this for many years. When it comes to the Red Sox and Yankees competing for a division, sometimes deals are made to keep players from going elsewhere. And I'm sure, I thought the Red Sox had a great interest in Frazier to begin with because of the experiment of Pablo Sandoval, a very expensive one that failed miserably.
they still got a lot of years
Oh,
left on
goodness.
that one. But the Yankees got Ellsbury from the Red Sox, and they're going to be paying for that one. I mean, he has not been healthy at all. First pitch here is a strike down the middle. No balls and one strike to count on Josh Bell. The switch hitter also batting here from the right side. He has singled and stolen a base. Struck out the last 2 times up. Might be the steal of the year. Lumbering Bell swiped second. The 0-1. This one high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. I don't think Brian Cashman's done.
I don't think he is
Especially
either.
with Pineda going down with TJ surgery for the year.
That was huge.
One starter would make the difference in the whole division for the Yankees. Fastball misses inside. Pretty good giddy up on that one. 91 on the gun for Richardson. 2-1. You just maintain not giving up many prospects because they're going to be in some shape next year. All those guys, they had 2 guys would be helping them right now if they didn't get injured pitching wise. And their shortstop Torres out for the year. That guy would have been up at 20 years old. He would be up for Headley.
I think you're right.
He was ready to come up before he got hurt. They just felt he needed a little more work at third. This one misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Skeeters are leading 11-2. You're in the top half of the 8th inning. They're going to set up a way here. Payoff pitch here by Richardson. This one check swing, tap foul. Right near the Skeeters dugout. We'll do the 3-2 again. Richardson 6 of the 9 pitches for strikes. Seventh pitch coming here from Richardson to Bell. The 3-2. Swung in, hit towards second. This might be 2. Prince to second for 1. And Aarons will throw it to first for the DP. And it'll go down 4-6-3. So 2 outs, none off for Sean Halton. And we're going to halt for 10 seconds for a station identification. So 2 outs, none on for Halton, who was 1 for 3 with an RBI single in his second at bat. He's also popped out and struck out. Halton 256, 16 home runs, 51 RBIs. First pitch here from the Skeeters southpaw, swung on and popped up. Behind second, it is Prince on the outfield grass who squeezes it. That'll do it. Unconventional 1-2-3, but Richardson does a nice job. Middle of the 8th, Skeeters up 11-2.
Yes, I'm down here with Alex and Giorgio, and they're ready for the Air Team Heating and Cooling Frozen T-shirt contest. All right, boys, anything you can do to think of to open it up, you got to put it all the way on. You ready? Set, go. Looks like Alex is getting his a little bit easier. Keep pulling. They're nice and frozen tonight. You can do anything you want. You can hit it off the ground, hit it off your friend. Giorgio's getting his too. You got to get it all the way on, remember. Getting our cameraman wet. Almost. Alex gonna get it up all the way over on. It is very cold, yes, they are frozen. Looks like the neck's the toughest part. You got to get those sleeves and neck open. Try putting it on, Alex. I think you almost got it. The team's cheering you guys
Well,
on.
the
Come on,
Barnstormers are going to the bullpen. This is pitcher number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is Carter, Anthony Carter, 33rd appearance. Of course, he has 17 saves,
All right, we're gonna
3-2 record, 4.60 earned run average.
You're both winners 'cause you get to take
League
home
batting
these nice
.288 against him.
T-shirts. Back up to you, Shane.
We've gone through a lot of pitchers. Wonder if they'll have anything left for tomorrow morning's game. Skeeters with more runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. They got 4. They're leading 11-2 in this one. Brian Pounds will lead it off. Pounds has been on a roll lately, including this game. He's been on base 3 times with a walk, a single, a double. He has scored a run and struck out. So he's 2 for 3 officially. It'll be Pounds, Cole Gillespie, and Albert Cordero here, 6, 7, and 8. First pitch by Anthony Carter is low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Carter gets the sign here from De La Rosa. That's one swung and fouled into the net. Good hack by Pounds. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. To Georgia Perimeter Junior College. That's when you never go to class and just skate around the college. Never stopping. Right around that perimeter. The 1-1. This one swung and fouled back into the screen. 1-2. Carter played for Team USA in 2010. Earned a save against highly regarded Cuba in the Pan Am Games qualifying tournament in Puerto Rico. One time he was the 10th best prospect in the White Sox organization as Pound strikes out. Well, Carter strikes out the first batter he faces. 1 out, none for Cole Gillespie. Gillespie has tripled, doubled, driven in a run and scored 2. He features a fastball at one point in his career between 92 and 97. Also has a slider and a changeup. It's kind of a high 3/4 delivery. First pitch here, fastball for a strike. They certainly got arms out in this bullpen. At 193. The 0-1 here by the right-hander. This one a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Skeeters up by 9 runs, and they are 3 defensive outs away from a victory. Big swing and a miss here as Carter strikes out the first 2 he faces with authority.
The first 2 hard throwers we saw out of the bullpen, and Anderson and Schumann either had some wildness or got hit around, but boy, he's blowing some smoke.
That'll bring in Albert Cordero. Switch hitting catcher tonight. Has struck out, walked, singled, and grounded out. He's officially 1 for 3 with an RBI. First pitch here is swung and hit into left field. Going back is Millage, looking up, and this one is off the top of the wall. Cordero around first, trying for second. He's going to get in there, sliding feet first with a double. That one almost left the ballpark, high off the manual scoreboard in left field.
Might have taken out a light bulb or something. That really had a loud thud as it was above that yellow line that's on the Bud Light sign, but below the top of the railing.
That'll bring in Derek Miller. Join the rest of the team with a hit. Everybody 1 through 9 now is a hit. He had a double and an RBI and scored a run. He's also walked twice, having a good night. So in steps Miller, who came in at 225 home runs, now has 28 RBIs with his ribby tonight. First pitch here, a fastball strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Miller. Skeeters 17 hits, just one shy of their season high.
I feel like they're going to get there. Nah, you know, I'll hold off that bold prediction.
One hit is not exactly bold.
Well, there's 2 outs in the inning. And there's no bottom of the 9th, of course, when you get 17 hits.
I hate to see you in Vegas. I didn't mean to do that.
No, can I have my chips back?
Right after you get thrown out of the casino. Swung and missed, so Carter strikes out the side. Skeeters get one hit. But the Skeeters are 3 outs away from a victory. Top of the 9th when we get back, they're up 9-11 to 2.
Here we go to the 9th inning. Skeeters bring on Julio DePaula, his 28th combined appearance in the Atlantic League. His 19th as a Skeeter. 0-1 with a save and a 6.31 ERA.
Now let's take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard here. We'll have a moment as DePaula continues to warm up. The Blue Crabs beat the Revolution 4-2. Bridgeport beat Somerset 6-9. And the Bees beat the Ducks 8-2. Skeeters are leading 11-2 here. It was DePaula who came in last night and finished it off. We'll see if he can do it again here. When the Barnstormers bring out a hitter, which we don't know when that will be, here in the top of the 9th, it'll be Cole Garner, Garrett Weber, and Lansing's Millage. Ball is ready to go here. Cole Garner will lead it off. He has walked and he has grounded out twice. He's 0 for 2. Interesting notes on Garner. Talked about him going to high school, La Quinta High School in Westminster, California. He was a teammate of Ian Stewart. It was the Rockies' first round pick in 2003. It was the same year that Garner was drafted in the 26th round, and I got a chance to see Ian Stewart at AAA with the Rockies. I was in Colorado Springs, and I thought that guy was a surefire star. I mean, every night he would make a play from his butt at third. Every night. Garner was actually signed by Todd Blyleven, who is the son of Bert Blyleven, now a Hall of Famer. Garner eventually signed with the Yankees in 2012. Garner hits for power, really all parts of the park. It's a lot of doubles and triples. As we saw last night, he had a single double and a triple. Up by very good speed as well. Never really had trouble hitting fastballs and hanging breaking pitches, but will still chase breaking balls in the dirt is his true weakness. One ball and one strike here on Garner. Stu Cole, his manager at Colorado Springs. He really started staying back through the ball rather than kind of getting in and out. And this one chopped to third. Toss across in time and quickly one away. Well, that'll bring in Garrett Weber. Weber is 0 for 3. He has struck out, flied out, and grounded out. Weber also a Cali boy, went to Clovis High School, Fresno Community College in 2008 and 2009 before transferring to Fresno State in 2010 and 2011. Junior and senior season, he had .387 with a .422 on base percentage for the Bulldogs. He possesses a good eye at the plate. It's for a good average, decent power. This one is fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes to count. DePaula coming out here dealing. Despite playing third, he's really primarily second and a third baseman. Kind of considers himself a utility guy as he was coming up through systems. The 0-2. Swung and hit towards third. Pounds a diving stop at third. Gets up, fires it to first. In time. Great play by Pounds. Got a great night overall.
Last 3 days we've seen him in left with a good play. A couple of nice scoops at first a couple of days ago, and now at third base is more regular position. Been fun to watch in this series.
Well, the Skeeters 1 out away from an 11-2 victory. Last thing's Millage. Last chance here for the Barnstormers. Millage actually drove into spring training in 2006 with his new Hummer, but the show he didn't blow his $2 million bonus. He actually brought his belongings in a little plastic bag. 2009, he was acquired from the Nationals by the Pirates, and that was a big thrill for him because he grew up in Palmetto, Florida, which is the home of the Pirates in Bradenton, just across the Manatee River, where they've had spring training since 1969, so got to play for his favorite team. 1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Millage. The 1-1 is a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. 2009, he switched from his number 85 to 85 after a career-long number 44 when Adam Dunn was signed. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the ninth. Skeeters leading by 9 here in the ninth. This one low and away. They appealed to see if he went. He did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, the Skeeters leading 11-2 here in the ninth. Open stance on the right side for Millage. DePaula from the stretch, the 2-2. On the inside corner, strike 3, and that's the game as the Skeeters win big here tonight by a final score of 11-2. 11 runs, 17 hits, no errors for the Skeeters. 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Barnstormers. We're going to take a break. We will come back. We'll have the final numbers. We'll have the highlights and preview tomorrow's Game 6 finale. All that and more. We'll return on the Skeeters post-game show in a moment.